Welcome to Trash Talk. I'm Wayne.
And I'm Chase.
And I'm Tony.
I'm Ryan.
See, it started
D,
right off the bat.
Yep. Yeah, you guys did it all. Both
Boom.
talking over everyone. But it's
There we
okay.
go.
We're going to be laughing.
We're just gonna get it
We're
out of the
gonna
way
be
now.
enjoying this. Do we start somber? The big news of the day, like hours ago, breaking.
Oh, fucking way to kill the
Kobe
mood already, yeah.
Bryant died. Dead at 41.
Yeah, it's fucking
And his
crazy.
daughter in a helicopter crash.
Yeah.
The morning after he got passed by
LeBron.
LeBron James to be third place all time in the NBA scoring list.
No shit.
So you're saying it's
This
LeBron's
happened last
fault?
night.
Wow.
Oh man, we're already
It's
blaming
LeBron's fault.
LeBron.
He fucking did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Passed him, and the next day it was over.
I wonder what happened.
Helicopter crash.
Just
Well, he's been flying for a while, so you figure it had to have been something pretty serious.
he was flying it.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a pilot?
He
Yeah.
was a pilot.
Yeah, he's been a pilot for
I didn't know
well
that.
over a
Yeah.
decade. Yeah, he would fly to his games when he was a player.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's
So,
the thing.
like,
You got to
he's-
be serious
So
when you're a
he was
helicopter
flying
pilot.
to his daughter's game.
Well,
Is that
yeah.
right?
They were in
And
L.A. last
then-
night, so I'm guessing they're leaving
Yeah.
L.A.
So he was pulling that old move. So it had to have been something legit, like mechanical or like super wind, you know?
That's the thing, though. If it's bad weather, you don't fly. You know.
Well, I don't think
True.
it's bad weather.
Yeah. you-
California.
Well, you went from L.A. and you got it to Calabasas. I don't know how far that is, but it wasn't very long into the flight.
They said it's just outside of L.A., northwest of the city.
Yeah.
So ideally, he didn't get far into his trip, if
Yeah,
that's the case.
so it's probably
We got a
mechanical.
takeoff issue, and, you know.
I'm guessing if the weather was that bad, that it would take you down that quick.
They
You
showed the
probably wouldn't
video.
have.
It looks nice, except for an explosion.
So
on the
I've
ground.
heard this
Funny
about
how that
helicopter pilots before, that there's kind of two levels. There's like the one where you just kind of like look out and you're like, you know, using the controls, you're feeling it a little bit. But then there's also the ones that can just fly by looking at the
Yep.
switches. Just like by every sort of gauge. Tells them exactly where they're at, what the helicopter's doing or whatever.
Which way they're facing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say,
exactly.
theoretically, that's what all it's supposed to do.
Yeah, you don't even need to see out,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
If you're,
So
if you're,
do you
but
think Kobe
you've
was
put
that
it-
level?
if it's working,
If he's
properly.
put in that many hours, maybe. But
Do you think
like,
he had a co-pilot?
His daughter.
Well, yeah, there were
There's-
four
yeah.
other people in there. So
Yeah.
you know, a parent and their daughter, and then Kobe and his, and
Kobe was a pretty smart dude, and anything he put his mind to, he would master. I would imagine he was a damn
yeah,
good
I
pilot.
agree, man. I can't.
Yeah, I can't imagine him being shoddy at anything and
Okay,
being okay
okay.
with that.
Yeah.
The way he, like his personality and his attitude, no.
I agree.
He would want to be the
I'm just
best
asking
pilot
the
ever.
questions.
And
Like, he's
free
that guy.
time after retiring. You know, you get good at something like that after you've gained a lot of extra free time.
Yeah. When did he retire?
I'd have to resort to the wikis.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh my God! You guys were quoting everything out earlier.
2000.
Sorry, was not
Oh,
expecting
man,
this to come up.
2009.
Another brain
2007.
buster for
Yeah,
you.
it's been a.
I don't know if
Been
he
a few.
did- I think he made it into the 2010s, but it couldn't have been too long.
And your opinions are he's the second greatest basketball player.
That's my
ever?
opinion. I don't know what everybody else's is. But
Well,
You got a favorite
Michael
basketball?
Jordan's the best.
2016, he retired.
yeah,
Yep.
it wasn't that long.
We were
ago.
way off.
Wasn't there like a
Somebody said Hall of Fame. He hasn't been out long
Oh no, I guess he wouldn't have been. Yeah,
I think
Wasn't there like a
there's
simulation?
a very familiar
Helicopter
sirens of
crash.
Omaha for the last few days.
they always go off when
Just
when
just
I'm
the
there.
just the wood door. Just the wood door.
Just the wood door.
So now that those have passed,
Sort of.
got really quiet.
Yeah.
I was going to ask
I
something
don't know.
about
What were you saying?
the simulation of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant both in their prime. Who wins?
Michael Jordan.
I think Jordan does. Are you talking like 1-on-1?
Kobe
Are you
models
talking about
so
Yeah,
much of his
yeah.
game
Bulls
off MJ,
versus
though.
I would
his
say-
Lakers?
It
or
would
something?
basically
mirror.
be a mirror. Yeah, I was gonna say they're
'Cause-
so similar.
Yeah,
except
Kobe Bryant grew up probably watching
Emulating
everything
him.
MJ ever did.
Yeah.
they look the same. Like
Yeah.
even every single move, the step back, the turnaround fade jumper, the way he attacked the lane. Like
You've seen the
all of
YouTube
it.
compilation where they
Oh,
actually
man,
literally
yeah.
show that, right?
Yeah, I've seen that. Derek said earlier in a text to me, he's a big fan. Like I was a big fan of his too, and always watched his highlights and shit because he was so like fast, but not like blazing fast and smooth at the same time. Like that Mamba,
Yeah.
that Mamba moniker
It
was
fits.
pretty
That-
adequate.
The
and
Snake?
He's a killer, dude.
Yeah,
like
man. And it was
he
just,
would
he would
yeah.
dice through teams like better than anyone. It was like it would be great to see him
Did
and
they
Mike, but
call
I
him-
would pick Mike.
Did they call him Mamba?
His
or did they
nickname was
call
Black
him
Mamba.
Black Mamba?
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay.
Because I mean, he
But I mean, what?
that dude was like. And when I say like killer, it's like assassin. Like I mean, he would like put
Killer.
the dagger in your
Slytherin.
team. Like he would not give you a chance to come back. There was no loafing. There was no none of that shit. That's the thing that separates, I think, him and LeBron mainly. Is like LeBron.
I don't like LeBron.
I mean, you've seen if you maybe you haven't, but there's videos of him where like his teammates have to push him to play defense. Literally,
Yeah,
physically
he's-
push him. Like go defend somebody. Like because he'll just stand there.
I
and
don't
he'll
know
just-
that.
He saves his energy for offense for sure.
Yeah, he's just
especially as he's gotten older.
yeah.
Wow.
And so it's just, I mean, Kobe would never do that. He was 100% all the time. He wanted to just make you feel
He'd
bad
shut
about
you
yourself.
down, then
Yeah.
score on you.
Does
then laugh at
LeBron-
you at the end.
Didn't LeBron like blame a lot on his teammates?
Yeah, he always does that.
Like, he blamed
when
his
he's the-
team. Like, I can't win with this team or something.
He
Right?
said that in Cleveland.
Yeah, he
you
said
know.
that in Cleveland. Well, another guy just said that, but it wasn't LeBron. There was another guy that just said it.
That's
Called
fucked
out
up.
like
Probably
They
Jimmy
all say
Butler.
it.
Yeah.
yeah, called out like 4 or 5 of his teammates, and he was like, "Yeah, we got some good players here. We got this
That-
guy, this guy, this guy."
I think it was Jimmy Butler, wasn't it?
It might have been. Yeah, it
That's
would-
one of those
wouldn't
things you just
surprise me.
think. You don't say out loud, you
Well,
know?
Right.
Yeah.
Kobe called out guys all the time.
Oh,
I mean,
dude,
he
he was
famously
savage.
called out Shaq. He's like, dude, you're a fucking fat ass.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
What are you
Yeah.
doing? You could
Yeah.
be the
Guess
best
what?
ever.
Shaq still loves him. He's like, yeah, you know.
It's just why that didn't work as a team because, like,
Mama
yeah.
mentality didn't work for Shaq.
But see, Jordan had that same mentality too. Like, there's stories all over the place where people like Jordan's made people want to like retire, like just quit.
Jordan punched Steve Kerr in the face.
he did.
Wow.
The coach of the Golden State Warriors
Wow.
when they were teammates.
Punched him right in the face.
And where does Curry fit into all of this?
And he's got a long way to go.
I mean, he's done.
He's
well
got
so
the
far.
hype. He's got the hype.
Dude, he's
right?
done well so far. No one's gonna lie to you or
Yeah,
deny
but
that. But
not in
still
the-
gotta put that time in. Like it took
Yeah.
a long time before LeBron was, because you know how hyped LeBron was for so many years. It still took some time before people were like, okay, probably greatest player of all time. Like
His first game as an 18-year-old in the NBA, he scored like 17 points, I think.
yeah.
19 points, maybe. He put up a good little stat line.
Yeah. And now you got Luka Doncic. Or
Yeah.
I probably destroyed that last name.
Doncic?
but Doncic.
Doncic?
I've never
Luka
been able to
Doncic.
say that. It's like saying Giannis.
Right.
Yeah.
Tempo.
He's now breaking all of those youngest player to do so and so.
Yeah, that guy's
things.
crazy.
No, he is a Greek freak. That guy.
Yeah, man.
What's he? 6'11"? He can.
Giannis, yeah, and he's got like a 8-foot wingspan.
What's there's something where he can run the
he's a
court
spider.
in like 8 steps or
He's
something
just a
crazy
spider.
like that.
Yeah, he does this. You can't see the sun.
Oh yeah, he's so lanky in every limb.
Holy shit.
He's crazy.
And he's fast.
Yeah, he's athletic,
Most
you know?
times when people are that lanky, it's hard to get moving,
Or tall.
you can see what they're going to telegraph their movements because it takes so much to get going. No, man, he'll fly right by you before you have a chance. His first step,
Sneaky.
his first step is like 8 feet.
Wow.
You know? Like he just outstrides you. You know, he doesn't have to be terribly fast, just fast enough to outstride you, and that's what he does, man. He's
Yeah,
crazy.
He can like run the length of the court in 6
Dunk
steps
from the free throw
Like,
line.
So, do you guys pay attention more to NBA or college basketball?
I don't watch any college
None.
basketball.
I probably more
And
college. NBA, I like more in the playoff time.
I don't watch much basketball anymore.
But everyone loves March Madness.
I don't
ta-
give a shit about March
I
Madness.
take
Okay.
glances at both periodically just to see where everyone is. I try to not spend too much time on either or because I'll get burnt out.
When is March Madness anyway?
in February.
It's weird. Just
Yeah,
usually
I'm
February.
no, I thought it was April, dude.
No,
It starts in February, ends in April.
Yeah.
It's like a month and a half long.
They play the first like play-in games because
Yeah.
they decided they wanted to do play-in games.
Well, is there
they'll play that shit on like
192
February
teams now?
28th.
I don't know how many they do now.
There's at least 130, right?
No.
The playing game is
64.
not supposed
Yeah, it's like-
to
I think it's
count
like
as part of the
64.
tournament.
Wow.
Pretty sure it's 64. And then there's like a playing game to get in, and then it's 64 teams.
I think we should take these fireballs here that I got for Kobe before we get too far from him.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
so hungover right now. I don't want to do shots of
This will help you.
Fireball.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh,
You got to get that Mamba mentality going
Why did we decide Fireball for Kobe Bryant?
Yeah, I hate Fireball.
because it's cheap.
I'm with Chase on this
God
one.
damn it, Kobe. Why'd you die?
You guys, You can have the wild turkey over there instead.
Well,
I was at
actually,
fucking
that doesn't
bushwhackers
sound
last
bad.
night. It's all you fucking
You can
smell
have
in that
wild
place is
turkey after
Fireball.
the fireball.
Yeah, that's fair. I need something to chase
So
it
they
with.
put on the dance floor as Fireball.
It's coffee as well.
Make people
You
dance.
know, it's
Smell
just
it.
everybody
It's
there
really
drinks
good.
fucking
I
Fireball.
thought
so
about
you just
grabbing
smell
some.
Fireball everywhere.
But
Yeah,
I got
exactly.
this double espresso sitting here. So
Oh, that was your espresso?
yeah, that was my little double
woke up
espresso. I love these.
hungover,
These
too.
are really good. All right. Anyway, to the point.
I'm reasonably
Kobe
over.
to the Black Mama,
Here's
man.
my mama,
Mama.
baby.
R.I.P.
Yep, number 2
Rest in
all
power.
time.
Salute.
Number 4 on the scoring list, but number 1 in our hearts
Jesus.
today.
So smooth. So smooth.
I hate these bottles. It takes forever to fucking.
Yeah,
I thought
smooth
that-
like a backcountry road.
I thought that was some good ASMR, though. Did you guys hear that?
That was nice. I like the glug 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 glug.
That was really,
We were in
really
unison.
That was.
good antifreeze. Thank you.
Jesus.
It takes too long to get
The
out of a
AFC's
fucking bottle.
Fuck Fireball. Holy shit. Big
Look
guy
at the-
touchdown.
look at the
Love the
NFC.
big
No
guy
way.
touchdown.
Oh, 14
was-
let him have it.
They
We're
yeah.
also watching the Pro Bowl.
You're not going to try to tackle him. They'd
They,
be like,
uh,
no, you're good.
they did a couple pitches during that. I think it was an interception. And
what that
so
was?
Fletcher Cox.
Who is
Yeah.
that guy?
Defensive tackle
Fletcher
of the
Cox.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Dude, he's awesome.
So
oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Deshaun Watson got picked off, and then at one
Lateral,
point
they said
someone did
Fletcher.
a jump and pitch backwards to a Fat Man, and Fat Man ran the rest of the way, if memory serves. Yeah, look at that dumb thing.
Rumbling,
Get out of here
stumbling,
with
and
that shit.
tumbling.
Holy shit.
Xavier Rhodes got
Oh,
it.
yeah.
All right. No, Harrison Smith. Gotcha. So Harrison's like, here you go, big boy. Look at Fletcher right there at the bottom of the screen. Coming back in.
Ooh, ooh,
Bro!
oh, shit.
Bro! Take me home.
Wow.
Oh shit, he's still going.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Who is that? Cortland?
Yeah. Cortland Sutton's like, no, thanks.
He's like,
And that's
Yeah.
a
Just
Cortland
running
Sutton's
next
a big
to him.
dude,
He's
running
too.
next
He's
to
like
him, like,
6'5", like 220.
Is
I'm
that
not-
happening in the Pro Bowl a lot?
And he's a
where it's just
receiver.
like, I'm not going to, like, hurt
Yeah,
myself.
people don't give a shit.
Exactly.
They're like,
Nobody
eh.
wants to hurt themselves.
Yeah.
dude, don't be that guy.
They just got done with the season, and your
Come on, you
body's
tell me
hurting.
none of those people, if this was a game, couldn't have caught him?
Oh, he did dove
The
at his
fastest people on the earth right now are on this field. Like, they couldn't
14
have caught
would
that
have
guy.
just at least dove at his feet.
They couldn't have
Yeah.
just poked the ball out. Like, no, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, you can at least try to get the ball out.
Yeah, if it was a real game, yeah, they would have. Yeah, there would have been a lot more effort there.
There's a reason why
they
these
never
guys
would
are
have done
still
that
playing.
shit. Like, unless it was like a last second thing.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh, damn. There's like 3 Vikings on that team.
Whereas Vikings are
Well,
kind of good.
that's
this
what
year,
happens
man.
when you get the shit kicked out of you by the 49ers.
So
But
how
you
weird,
end up in the Pro
how
Bowl.
weird
And still
is
in a
that?
good-
Don't
And
see any
still in a
Chiefs
good
playing.
team.
Losers.
That's great.
So how come there was? How do you think it feels like the Vikings and the Packers to be on one team all of a sudden? Think those guys still hate each other, or like, hey,
I don't think it's not like it
doubt
used
it.
to be back in
Yeah.
the day. There was probably there was more hatred between players, but they don't give a shit anymore. They switch
They move
teams so
around a lot
much.
more, yeah.
They've got friends on every team.
that's true.
Yeah, it's a big
College.
big
Yeah.
change.
It's
They-
all about yourself.
They understand most of the shit. I mean, there's
Their
some
brand.
real.
A lot of these
brouhahas
guys
going
do a
down, but-
lot of things outside of football together.
Yeah.
You know, they might
They share
be
agents and shit. So
That's
they're
true.
same shoe contracts, you
Yeah,
know, or
they're-
same
or they do the
affiliate, you know.
fundraiser.
Work out in the
Razors.
off season together.
yeah. So there's
Exactly.
Share a snooter.
it's different than it used
ex
to be.
college teammates.
You got to share your snooters.
We got to share snooters.
Smoke weed, murder people.
Smoke
Yeah.
weed every day.
Jeez,
Murder people.
jeez.
Do some rips.
Give me
I suppose so.
Did you settle down?
gimme.
Why don't you dial it back about 15, 20%? There, split right down.
Oh yeah. Hey, look at you,
So
Ground.
here's some
There you are.
options. What do you guys want to talk about? Super Bowl
I think we already started.
or XFL?
Oh,
I'd like to know just what everybody, this
XFL is dumb.
range
I
of
don't-
we
guys
can
here,
start
what
with
everybody
XFL.
thought of
It's
COVID.
probably a
Somebody like
shorter
that?
topic.
I haven't really
I'm
looked into
impressed
it
with
much this time.
What?
Like the first
You watched
go
it?
round, I
will.
watched the shit out of the first go round. But this time, I just haven't gotten into
I just
it.
wanted to talk about the new rules.
I don't even know what new
Okay.
rules are now.
Do you have them pulled up?
Yeah,
I will pull them
I
up.
could.
yeah. You probably should have done that.
No, I know some of them though, right off of the hand.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Well, at
there's-
least you did research.
There's newer rules now.
They-
The XFL is a new league,
my God.
so they get to
Oh.
make.
Well, they
that.
have different like rules in general than the NFL. Because I think they have like no kickoffs or something.
No, there's
or-
still kickoff.
Yeah.
No extra points.
Is that what it is? Extra points.
You have to go for it. You either get 1, 2, or 3 points.
Kickoffs,
okay.
you can't. Nobody
based
can
on
run
yardage?
until the guy catches
No
it.
one runs
So-
until they catch on kickoffs and punts.
That's right. That was one I
And
heard.
it's like it's trying to make people go for it on fourth.
Yeah.
You know, the punt is really bad for you to do or whatever.
That's right. Because they were talking about Chad Ochocinco's trying out to be a kicker in the
Oh,
league
he
that doesn't
didn't
use
show up
kickers.
for his tryout.
He didn't.
No,
Oh.
no showed.
Well, it's because he realized he's trying to be a kicker in a league that doesn't want to use kickers.
But the kickers were still useful on the kickoff because it's all about like
Correct.
the placement you
That's
get it
it.
in.
Well, yeah, but
because you can get it at
they're trying to
You gotta run a
minimize
trick
the
play with
effect.
him, though, right?
You can
Arrow green.
you can double pass
Dude, that's awesome.
in the XFL now.
Where's all these stadiums?
Double
at?
pass?
Behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, okay.
And then the second pass has to be behind the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
They're playing in college stadiums.
Oh, really?
Oh, I didn't hear. See that? I don't know anything about the teams, any of the players on the teams or whatever. Some of the teams' names are weird, aren't they?
They always.
mean,
Well, they might have
no.
brought back some of the old ones.
Dragons.
Is there
I
the
think there's-
Outlaws?
There's probably Canadian like Rough Riders reference because there's always a Rough Riders.
Oh,
and
there
everything.
has to be a Rough Rider.
There's always a Rough Rider.
White Claws.
White Claws.
I forget what the St. Louis team is. It's like the St. Louis team is really weird. It's
Yeah.
like the Battle Hawk. There you go.
St. Louis Wild.
Ooh, Roughneck.
Oh, Roughnecks. Okay, so it's not a Rough Rider, it's a Roughneck. But there's always a Rough something.
And a Renegade.
There is dragons.
Oh my
There's a
god.
dragon. You got to have a dragon, man.
See, I'm pretty,
Wildcats,
I'm pretty
pretty
sure the Dallas Renegades, the New York Guardians were previous teams.
Then you have the DC Defenders,
I think
which
there
is
is only
like
8. So.
all right.
Yeah, Guardians.
Okay, but that's only... Oh, no, it's DC Defenders. Okay, yeah. I'm pretty sure Dallas Renegades and the New York Guardians were previous XFL teams. Or at least names, anyway.
That's actually
What-
probably true. Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm gonna
But I think
say
the
this.
Battlehawks is a new... At least
Yeah, the Battlehawks is
name,
brand new.
Anyway.
Dude, I laughed
feel
my ass off when I saw that.
offended
That's crazy.
by the
That's
name
dumb.
Roughneck. Is that not
Uh,
offensive?
No.
Why, do you have a rough neck?
Yeah, my neck gets a little scratchy
Neff.
sometimes.
Are you from the
And that
Houston
offends
area?
you? Are you from the
I'm
Houston area?
Not from Houston. Chase is a fellow Texan. Though.
Or the greater
The
Houston?
Nebraska White Claws. That's our football team.
Man, Omaha should have a team. Honestly,
They got the.
would you not go to an XFL game in Omaha?
They had was
We
it
had
the
the
Nighthawks or
Arena
something?
Football League.
Yeah, they
the
had Amon
UFL.
Green was on the team for a hot second.
Beef.
And
actually-
Eric
yeah.
Crouch was the starting quarterback for the last season, except he
shit.
didn't make it out of the first game. I
I didn't
had
know
season
that.
tickets
I
for
did
that
not
shit.
know
So
that.
I was
saw
going to say
him
they
both
actually
years.
did pretty good,
For
I
the
think,
beef?
for a couple years.
No, for the Nighthawks.
Oh, the Nighthawks.
Yeah, they were around for a couple years.
Yeah,
Oh,
Crouch was the
they did
starting
okay.
quarterback. He had Troy Smith behind him as a backup.
Oh wow.
We don't give a
The
shit.
two
We'll watch
Heisman,
any kind of football.
two Heisman, I think, guys right there or some shit. So.
I just
Oh,
I
yeah, Troy Smith, Ohio State.
I really
Okay.
think Omaha needs a football team.
yeah.
If it was UNO or fucking Metro or an XFL team,
Well,
or
we'd obviously
if-
go because we ain't got shit else to
if
do.
Omaha, Nebraska had a Canadian Football League team, I'd go.
Yeah, I would. I
Let's
mean,
start one, eh?
even with the new soccer
Why
team
the fuck
coming
would
to
Omaha
town,
have a
man,
Canadian
would
Football
be a
League
party.
team?
I don't know, but I'm
Why
just
not?
saying I would like to go watch football in Nebraska besides high school
And Lincoln.
and Lincoln. I love the
Nothing
Huskers.
against the Huskers. Yeah, I'm still gonna
Okay,
go.
you had that. You had the Nighthawks.
Some
How
of
many
the-
games did you go to?
I didn't live here in Nebraska on the night. Or
Some
in
of the
Omaha.
naysayers
Yeah,
are
you
like,
did.
"Oh, well,
Yes, you
they
did.
won't
It wasn't
be."
that long ago.
Yeah, just a few years ago.
No, it was.
Yes, it was.
Well,
Sounds like a South
I'm not
Park
looking that
episode.
up.
We got a marketing problem here in Omaha.
bet
That's,
you don't
that's
wanna
the
You're
look
issue.
right. You're right. I do remember one thing about the Nighthawks was that didn't we vote for Omaha Zombies, but then they turned it down? They're like, no, we're Nighthawks.
I don't remember that.
Zombies?
I'm pretty sure it
That
was
would've been
supposed to be
cool.
Omaha Zombies.
Well, that's where they lost us.
exactly.
Right.
That's why I would still watch any football anywhere, unless you don't like my name that I want to pick.
Every time you get a touchdown, you did a drag your leg into the
Dude,
end
we
zone.
sold that place out. We had the best
No, you gotta
attendance
do
in
the
that,
fucking
in
thriller
that league.
dance.
Thriller for sure.
We had the best attendance. Like I
Yeah.
feel like we should, in some fashion, have a pro team if anytime these leagues come out, just
Oh, yeah.
because of the type.
They
of
know we'll
support.
go.
We need the
Yeah.
arena first, though, I suppose.
They got.
We
they
need
got
plenty of
arenas.
places they could play.
Yeah, because they're not. I'm sure if they approached Memorial Stadium, Lincoln was like, "Nah, fam, you're not
Right.
using our
Yeah,
stadium."
Yeah, they
Sorry.
wouldn't. But
Omaha's got plenty of
Or
stuff.
they wanted way too much money.
Creighton
and-
has a football field for sure.
yeah, but to be fair,
You
if
got
you
the
were
baseball
to be
stadium
fair.
downtown.
I thought
To
it
be
was a football
fair,
field. Is it only
No,
a
it's
soccer?
a soccer field.
They could turn into a football.
Wow.
if
Yeah,
you were
could,
in
but it doesn't
charge-
seat. It seats only 1200 or no, is it
How
12,000
the
or
fuck
1200?
do you
I don't
know that?
If you
What the because I've been there. It's not very big, man. It only seats like I think 12,000.
Have you gone to watch soccer there or
Yeah.
football? Okay.
Soccer?
No, it's
All right.
13,000.
And I knew you were a soccer fan.
I've seen it, and I think it'd be fine from a football point of view. It's wide enough. It's long enough. You
where
could
did-
put some things in there to make it happen. But the problem is adequately putting butts in that stadium.
Where
and
did
that's
where
it
did
would
the
work.
arena team play?
even
Inside the
know.
Quest Center or Ralston Arena?
Really?
Yeah, I
the
think
Beef
Ralston.
play at Ralston Arena.
Yeah, because that's where the beef play, isn't
It's
it?
small.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Where they play?
Oh, they're
I
talking
didn't
about the
know.
Nighthawks.
No. Where do the Nighthawks play?
The CenturyLink.
They did?
Yeah. Or not CenturyLink, TD Ameritrade. Duh.
Is that where they play? Yeah, I had no
Oh,
idea.
shit.
Yeah, it was at Ameritrade.
It was that recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
just a few years ago.
Man,
They lasted 1 year, though, didn't they?
Yeah, 2 years.
it went 2 years.
Well, let's
And
do it again,
before
Omaha.
before
Bring
investors-
another team back
Well,
and I'm
I'll
down
go this
for
time.
it.
It wasn't
Trash Talk
Omaha.
Omaha is down with the XFL and Omaha.
The league folded.
I
The
wouldn't-
league. I mean,
Yeah.
it lost
Yeah.
investors.
But we were like, we had the
and
highest
so-
attendance in the
what's
whole league.
What's
Bowl
the
season.
prediction?
We
of this
showed up.
New league. What's the new league XFL?
I was surprised the XFL actually didn't get a team in Omaha. Like I figured
You think
they
it's
would have
gonna
looked
come
at
back?
attendance and been like, "Hey,
I got a question
We maybe
for you
were
guys.
on the list when if
I'm
it
sure if
does
they
better
expand-
and they expand.
I got a question here. So, listening
Yeah.
to you guys talk about leagues of this size, and like, it seems like there's a thirst, at least in Omaha, and I'd imagine other similar sized cities, where you want to have a professional team, but you're not big enough for like a major league.
The problem with these
But-
is they go to these big cities.
I was
that
gonna
already
say,
have
so
all
what
that
if they
shit.
weren't going to all the big cities? They're picking places like Omaha and like Des Moines and shit. Like
The problem is Vince McMahon is in charge of the XFL.
There's Omaha's fucking.
Do you think he
Well-
wants to go to Omaha or Dallas?
Well, yeah, he wants to start where it's a sure thing first. But if he was smart, he would
He
have
would
picked
pick
Omaha
places
because it's
that
like a
don't
sure
have-
thing.
Build
you
a
know,
fan base.
You go to
Yeah,
places like
where-
Portland or
Yeah, if-
somewhere different
where
that
you
won't
know-
if
have-
Omaha
people
had
will
an
be behind
NFL
it.
Yeah.
team, I would still be a hardcore Chiefs fan. I would support Omaha, whatever. But then,
Yeah.
if
'Cause
they
you
played
think-
at the here, I'd be like, no, I've been wearing my Mahomes jersey to the game.
And
Yeah,
that's the
well, do you
problem with
think if
doing
you were
that.
in New
We're
York,
too
you think-
close to
yeah.
multiple markets.
Yeah,
We have 4 different markets: Denver, Minnesota,
Yep.
Chicago, and Kansas
Dallas
City.
is all the time.
Those are the 4
those are the
teams
Florida
that
rascals.
predominantly play on TV that would all be affected in some form or fashion. So if there's a second league, we could definitely get in there on that.
I just think the Cornhuskers prevent any team from I think they push the Mavericks out.
play on different days.
No,
though.
UNO did by having a faulty athletic.
I still think
department.
Lincoln might have been slightly involved in that somehow.
Well, they didn't want to help. That's the problem. They were
Yes.
just kind of like, yeah, whatever.
Why? Just because Trev Alberts was the AD?
No, well, yeah,
No, I'm sorry.
that's some of the, that's some.
Is that how they helped? They were like,
Yeah.
"Here, Trev, go be in charge of UNO."
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
But to be fair, he's actually
I don't know what these teams.
ended
I
up
just
being the
also
right
know
move.
Yeah,
wrestling was
the wrestling's.
closed right after they won the national championship. Oh,
Well, yeah,
that-
but all the
you're
like
done
9 out of
now.
10
all the
years or
sports
something,
they're
didn't
doing now,
But
they're
the
like
last year
really
they
like hockey's
existed.
fucking top
Man,
notch.
yeah, they had to.
They
I
care
think-
about hockey.
And their fucking basketball doing good. Like
Hockey
their
is
shit's
actually
kind
in a
of
downswing right now, but
Is it?
Yeah,
But they were
everything
still
else
they
is
were
good.
That was a big
Their
part of it. It was
basketball
like,
team
there was
made
gonna be like,
made the fucking tournament last year.
They need to bring football back.
I think they
to
kind of wanted to
Omaha.
be a hockey team.
The problem right now is because they're in Division 1, they can't afford.
No.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, isn't
Yeah.
football really expensive to
Yeah,
unless
that's
you're
why.
really getting big
and,
audience?
and wrestling was to a point because it didn't have. While they were super fucking good, there was not a draw that created enough income.
yeah,
Like,
people aren't
they-
going to wrestling matches. Like they're
You're
not
right,
paying
you're right.
big
funding
money to
that,
go to
especially with the move to
But-
D1, and that's what the ultimate goal was to get UNO's athletic department out of the red. Is because it was just sieving money,
Yeah.
and the programs that they had were good, but they weren't making money, and so they had to go and altered the situation so they could get money, which meant losing some sports. But at the same time, it's now moved them forward because all of those sports that sucked, they're now like, going to national tournaments at this
Basically,
point. And
UNO turned into Iowa Western anyway. So
yeah. They've really started attracting better talent.
Do they
and
not
it's showing.
have enough boosters that Lincoln has to get,
I mean, that's the
super new complex? Like Lincoln's about to get a new.
really
well,
nice
yeah.
soccer
That's
field
what
and stuff.
the
Omaha's
well,
always
yeah.
been kind of a Creighton.
That's
place.
what Baxter Arena is, man.
Yeah, everyone loves
They
Creighton.
they love
the
Creighton.
money is in Creighton.
Creighton College. football.
Creighton's
They don't give a shit about
Good
UNO. They
team.
want Creighton
So why doesn't Creighton get a football team then?
because they don't give a shit. They want
Creighton
basketball.
doesn't want football.
Yeah,
Again, it
They're
comes down to,
doctors.
it comes down to money, and you have
football's
to,
bad for you.
Football costs a shit ton of money.
It does.
Yeah, I know. I
You've
know.
got to be able to generate a shitload of income for
Well,
that to be.
I guess there's
fundamentally
probably just
sound
like an
decision.
equal understanding. Like, okay, Creighton, you're basketball. Lincoln, you're football.
Now, if Creighton
Omaha,
in like if
fucking take hockey.
right, so if Creighton in 10 years gets like they somehow McDermott figures it out and they start becoming like a powerhouse basketball program for the next 10 years. They're winning every Big East championship, going to Final Fours and
you
stuff.
want.
Maybe even 20 years. You might, and and now they're like a dynasty, just churning out money. You get to that point where you're in dynasty mode. Maybe you make some changes, but I doubt you'll ever. I still, even so, I doubt you'll ever
Journey's
see
wasted.
that. By the way, the fat tires are for anyone who wants one.
Do you think Creighton will reach that dynasty period though? Point?
No.
No, that
They're
was
just a good
purely
team that's going to have splash years where they could be really good.
Yeah.
But they're always a
Make you feel
consistent
better.
winning team.
I can't drink Budweiser.
They're there.
know.
They're there for the fans.
They have a really good front court this year. Like they're saying
Yeah.
they're one of the better guarding combos on D.
Dude, they can shoot the ball.
They always
They're-
can shoot.
Well, the last couple of years that's been down a bit. They're, I think, much more dangerous this year than a couple of years
So
back.
I feel
are we
like-
thinking Hoiberg's going to bring UNL basketball into relevance?
I think he'll make them.
They say that for every new coach, so
No,
that's
I'm
been going on
asking.
for 20 years.
But Hoiberg actually has some skill.
He's
They've had
done
a lot
it
of guys
already.
I
I've said
never
that
knew much
about.
about any of the
Well-
basketball coaches before, and then I know Brett Hoiberg. Like I've seen his.
He was
shit
really
in
good with
action.
Iowa State, and then he blew it out
Which
in
was
the NBA.
which is a nationally relevant program in basketball to begin with.
Yeah, but he
And
was
then
there in,
he
like,
dubs
95.
them back out.
And he had
no,
NBA experience. He
Hoiberg?
got railroaded by
He was
his
there.
team, but
Yeah, he was not there. He was there in the mid to late, early 2010s.
he had that Cato June or whatever his name
Oh,
was.
you mean a player? Never mind. Yeah.
No, the
Sorry.
player was
When he was a player there, yeah. I'm sorry.
when he was a player. No, I think Fred Hoiberg. He was the coach like the mid '90s at Iowa State.
No.
Look that up.
No, he's not that old.
no, yeah,
He probably
he was a player in the
he's
mid-90s. I think.
he's so old. He was probably a player in Iowa State during that time.
'Cause that's where he's
actually.
from. That's why he
Yeah.
was the mayor. Like they
He's a
love
player.
fucking Iowa
His
State.
dad
loved him.
That's funny. He's a player.
No, he's not.
He
I've seen him play
was.
He played.
He was okay. Yeah, he was at
His grandpa
Iowa
coached
State
at
from
Nebraska.
'91 to '95
Yeah,
as a
that's-
player.
As a player,
A second round pick.
Then he went back and dug them out of the grave
yeah, made,
because
like
they
built
had
up
kind
their
of
program.
they kind of went on a downturn.
Who was the Iowa State coach that went to the Bulls post Jordan era?
Fred Hoiberg.
Fred Hoiberg.
He was the one that coached the Bulls in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
he
and then
left
got
Iowa
screwed
State.
over by the fucking Bulls.
No, he as a player, 99 to 2003, he played for the Bulls. As a coach,
He
he,
also-
did Iowa
yes.
State 2010 to 15.
Correct.
And then he
And then
did
he-
the 15 through
So
18
that's
at the
what
Bulls.
that answers your question then.
There was another Iowa State coach I thought that went to the Bulls like in the late 90s.
Do you even know what we're talking about?
I have
No,
no.
I
I
don't.
lost.
I have not heard any of you guys talk.
The guy
for a while.
that-
It's just
Lane
like,
and Chase, the people that own
Do you
this
think it's the
podcast,
guy that
are
took
just
over
like,
for Phil
what's
Jackson?
standing back
No,
watching
I'm
it happen.
fine. Keep going, guys. I don't care. Talk.
I'm kind of stoned actually. So
I don't know what's happening right now.
Frederick Christian. Oh, no, that's Hoiberg. Tim Floyd.
Stone,
That's who
really.
I'm
Tim
thinking
Floyd.
of.
Yeah,
Tim
he took
Floyd.
over
I can't
after.
feel my
He
face
took over
right
after
now.
Phil Jackson.
I can't.
Yeah,
With
he's
either
from
hand.
Iowa State, I think.
Can't feel my ears.
I
right
can
now.
feel it.
What do I do with my hands?
Like,
So, yeah.
I can feel it. but it's
Long story
numb.
short, Hoiberg's done it before, so I feel like with the type of resources he has, as good of a coach he is, having Doc Sadler coaching defense, I think overall this team's gonna be really good.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like
They will
the
be
turnover
much
they had.
more
Like this entire team is like 95% different players.
You said you
They're-
got Doc
they had
Sadler?
like one or
Yeah.
two guys come back from
They
last year.
Fred brought him back. He had him as an assistant
Yeah.
over at Iowa State,
Yeah,
and so he brought him with, and Doc was the most excited person to come.
he was. He was stoked.
He's like, sweet, yeah, I get to come back there and not be the head coach. This is sweet
I'll have to
because he
put up
loved
that
it here,
shit.
man. He loved it here, and for the most part, we treated him well.
Yeah.
Like our teams were at least defensively super sound, but like just couldn't
Wasn't
get
he
a
the
good shooter
last coach to get us in the tournament?
close to it.
Have we been? Yeah, we just haven't won a game.
Yeah, no, Tim Miles got us to the tournament. We
Oh, did he?
lost.
Okay.
Yeah. His second year with oh gosh, forget that dude's name, but yeah, his like second or third year he got us
I
to the
didn't say. I
tournament.
thought it wasn't too long ago.
Sadler had all right teams. They were the teams that would like come out beat Kansas every year after winning only 18 games in a season, but they would have that notch on their belt. They'd take down like number 2 Kansas.
It seems like they
In
kind of
Kansas.
done
Talking
this.
about basketball?
Yeah, we're talking about basketball.
I have a friend that's a huge Kansas fan,
It seems like they do that this
My
year
family.
too. Though.
That's
and
the
they're
same.
like always number 1 through 4 or something,
They're
right?
always talented
Kansas,
as shit. Yeah.
Dude,
They
you guys
suck at
You
basketball.
got to
That's
talk
most
about
of the
the
reason why
fight
we-
that has happened with Kansas.
I was like, that's most of the reason we kicked the
That
shit out of
shit
them in football.
was insane.
Kansas and Kansas State.
Oh,
I
really?
had
never
a
did
game.
see that. I still have to watch that.
Kansas was winning the game. It was
There you
closing
go.
seconds.
Pull
And they're
that
dribbling
up.
the ball out
Because I heard somebody was
killing
like,
the clock.
somebody should be arrested for assault. I was like, what the hell happened?
So
Well, yeah, he was swinging a bench at him or a
yeah,
stool.
man. So Kansas State, they're down 20 points. There's only minimal seconds left. I'll give you a quick recap as he pulls it up. So K-State's players coming in for a layup after a steal. The Kansas players, really tall, D'Souza, comes in, swats the shit out of the ball. It's over, right? Well, and then he stands over the player and, like, gives him that, like, taunting bullshit. Mm-hmm. And then players came over from Kansas State to defend, thy honor. And then everyone else from Kansas came over to defend D'Souza. Fists start flying, man. D'Souza picks up a chair and starts coming at a fan with it. And then people grabbed it out of his hands.
This right now?
Dude, it happened like 2-3 days ago. It'll come up here in a second. But
No, I think you got to go back.
that's pretty much it. Go forward.
Wait, what's up with that kid in the background? I seen him earlier.
A little Adolf Hitler
Holy shit.
looking motherfucker.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I never actually watched it. I heard about it.
Who's he hitting?
They knocked over like the handicap section during the fight.
Oh, I think what this video was
here it is.
doing.
They were just talking about it.
I think it was Bill Self
Yeah.
talking about how great of a guy D'Souza was, and then it was cutting to a video montage of him swinging a chair almost at someone, and then cutting back to Bill Self about talking
About how great a guy he is.
Yeah, keeping going.
What happened?
So
We just went over
yeah,
this.
The guy flexed nut over another dude. He didn't like it, and the team's got to fight.
I'm sorry.
you go.
I'm kind of stoned.
right here, buddy. So K-State steals the
Garbage
ball.
time. Ooh,
He gets swatted.
Oh, yeah.
Homeboy steps over him. People start flexing. Then people start swinging.
And that was the end of the game.
Oh, here comes the
Yeah.
stool.
Like that
And it
was
wasn't even close. Like, it's not even a close game.
so
So that
over
last
20
basket
points.
didn't matter for shit.
Yeah, he come up and swatted him, man.
Jesus.
It spills into the fanway, and people start swinging at each other in there. Like, yeah, man.
Holy shit. he
Pandemonium.
drove back.
D'Souza, that big dude that had
Yeah.
a chair, 12-game suspension.
That's what
Yeah,
happens when you pick up a chair.
Every one of these players should be kicked off, right?
I
I
think
think they said
four
most,
overall.
Like, yeah, they have to do a bunch of suspensions, but they have to stagger them and shit.
4 overall
they would have to
players.
suspend, like, they wouldn't be able to play games.
Like this
Well,
happened
they only-
Bullshit. That's the team's
They only
fault.
suspended 4
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was, they were talking
So-
it was gonna
from
be a
each
lot of them.
team.
total. Yes,
Oh,
because
shit.
they only suspended the guys that were taking swings.
Oh, okay.
So they were
So
able
they
to
actually broke it down and found
right.
everybody.
So
okay.
D'Souza got 12 for the whole
Yeah.
taking swings,
Picking up a chair.
blocking, and then finishing it with picking up a chair.
and
Yes.
starting the whole fucking thing.
And then you had a couple of the guys that ran off the bench that ran into the court, into the fight, started swinging. Yeah, those guys, they got like 6 and 8 games apiece between the last 3 people that got.
Gotcha.
And they were players from both teams.
Where's the chair at here?
Comes right here at the end, right? Guy top right of the screen now. He picks up that. See, he's got it
Somebody
above his
pulled it out
head,
of
and
his
then
hand.
someone
Right
pulls
there,
it out of his
right?
hand. Yep, exactly. Top right of your screen as they come out of the scrum, real tall Kansas
See a
dude
couple
swinging.
fucking swings going.
Then he picks up this
Right
the
here, right
stool,
yeah.
and he's
And
got
somebody,
that stool.
Yeah, yanks it out of his hand.
So he doesn't hit someone with
No,
it.
he was going to.
thankfully.
Though. He had it over his head. And he was going to come down with it.
I
But
mean,
it's not as bad as a helmet ripped off your head.
Sports
and
moment of the
fucking-
year.
Well, it would have been if somebody didn't pull it out of his hand.
Until next weekend.
So this happened in college football one time, where like every player brawled.
It was
happened-
Miami versus Miami.
That happens.
No
It
way.
was,
somewhat
no,
frequently.
It was
Miami
two
and
Miami
Florida?
teams.
Miami and Florida, wasn't it?
No, I think it was the U, and then there was like
there you
Miami
go.
State, Florida, or whatever, international bullshit.
Atlantic
Oh,
or
picks that
something.
shit up right
Florida
there.
International.
Yeah, Miami Atlantic. I don't
He was
know.
going to, yeah. And he would have hit somebody with it. Probably the wrong fucking
Well, Miami
person.
is the only team named Miami,
Well, there's Miami of
so
Ohio.
it's probably like
Maybe
well-
it's like mid Florida Atlantic.
Well, that's Miami of Ohio.
Well played.
Miami of Ohio. well, good point, fucker. Hate you and your good points.
dang it.
What are you looking up? Another fight?
Yeah, there was a good college football in Miami.
Oh,
fight.
that was a long time ago.
I mean,
I remember that.
you could probably pull up 6 examples. of
Yeah,
Miami
FIU.
getting it. Yep, there it is.
Florida International.
Fuck that. You want to talk rumbles? Malice at the Palace, baby. That's the
What's
best
that?
one. That was the basketball
We got a
fight.
score
where
at the bottom. Nebraska
Yeah.
over K State,
That was the best
21-7.
1-3.
That's awesome.
We were ranked too.
What year was this?
2000.
Oh, fucking long time
Definitely
ago if we
looks
were ranked.
early 2000s.
Yeah, it was like 2004 or something like that.
If we were beating the shit out of people and ranked, it was a long time ago.
See, what started this fight? I don't remember.
End of the game thing again.
One of them black guys.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Jesus.
We just lost all our viewers.
Golly.
Well,
Oh, here you go.
Turning
certain point,
sensational.
it was just an extra point.
We might-
Oh, someone got
Oh,
Goldberg.
shit.
Oh, and he got clocked.
Oh, and then
kicked.
24 came
Oh, dude,
in
they
with a
all
kicking?
start kicking
Dude,
after this.
it's
Watch.
so
At the
bad.
end of it, they're all kicking.
I know.
I
I've seen
do. I
this
remember
before.
this. Yeah. How do you not know the Malice at the Palace?
Oh, there was a helmet.
Yeah, anyone
Oh yeah, I remember
wanted
that.
some
Yep,
got
yep,
some,
kicking, stomping,
See, I thought this was the worst one. where,
and he's a future New England Patriot, there, fellas.
like, essentially everyone on this
Pretty
team
much.
though
Brandon
was kicked
Mayweather.
Off. Mayweather was in this.
Yeah, it was Brandon Mayweather.
Merriweather, and
Or
he just got
Merriweather,
picked up for
sorry.
a cocaine possession that was intended to distribute because he had
Nice.
pounds.
Nice.
And he got off.
Surprise! He seemed like such a nice
Someone
guy.
just got German suplexed.
yeah, that was sweet.
Now you got a coach that's trying. Yeah, man. Like flex
yeah.
on.
And half these fuckers got drafted and making millions of money.
Was
Millions
this
of
the
dollars.
game? No, there was like another game where like
I wasn't even into the game. That was third quarter.
They still had to play a lot of.
there was another game where like a riot broke out and just like fans were throwing beer bottles.
Yeah,
on
that was
the
a
thing.
basketball
And they were
game.
talking all. I remember that. 'cause
No,
they
it
were
was
so
football.
pissed because they were like cheering and shit like after the fight, and they were like, "Yeah."
I think
remember
I'm
all
thinking of
that.
an NFL game maybe where like
The Malice at the Palace was the Indiana Pacers
Yep.
basketball fight. There was a big
Okay.
fight, and it
We
ended
need
up spilling
Coker.
up into the stands and shit, and a bunch of
if I
players.
search
Meta World
down-
Peace
okay.
goes
Yeah.
up and socks a dude in the
Yeah,
face.
dude. Ron Artest.
yeah.
Yeah,
like,
when he was
Pistons
Ron
and-
Artest.
yeah, when he was Ron Artest.
Dude, he doesn't play,
And,
man.
yeah.
And he walks. He saw who threw it. He made no secondary decision. He looked down and started looking for steps.
Was that when he
And started-
went up there and
Yeah, went up there and then
He
socked
beat
a
the
dude.
shit out of the wrong guy, though.
Yeah, he did. 'Cause-
Probably.
Well, yeah, because the guy that got the shit beat out of him just stood there and watched it happen. It was just like,
Goddamn right.
who throws what?
oh
Yep.
There's that too.
Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace.
that should have been a
Yeah,
technical
baby.
right there, right?
Yeah.
And then it just like spills.
Someone throws a.
How are the
bottle
refs
here
not
just a
doing
second.
anything?
You gonna
That's what-
stand in between that?
They are.
A
There's
little
a tiny.
5'8" white
There
dude?
is a
Yeah,
tiny
just
little
one
ref.
ref.
There is a tiny little ref in the middle of.
But there's
all of
another
that.
ref just watching it all. Like
Yeah, number 10.
Yeah, he's
right
a
here
smart
in the
ref.
bottom right
Yeah.
corner. He's like, "You got it, man. Good
Stop
job.
that. Stop that.
Good job, dude."
so whose responsibility is it to stop those things? The coaches?
Well, technically.
Oh, there's that bottle.
Yep, bottles coming out.
Now our test
And
is
then
like,
bam!
"All right, homie,
Oh,
want some?
shit.
Come get some."
Tackled a fan.
Yeah, because it was the wrong fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
And
Oh,
look.
And then that
Jermaine
dude,
O'Neal.
Yep.
Jermaine O'Neal made that dude night
Oh yeah.
night juice.
The comedian Bill Burr has a
Jesus
great
Christ.
bit about this. It's awesome.
Giant
dude, it's
humans
fucking
taking
hilarious.
on the average American.
He's like, everyone the fans talking shit in all the games. Well, come on up here. Well, they came up there.
That's what
I mean,
happens
fuck.
when you invite chaos.
And he was like, this little 4'10" white guy sitting there, and the 7'2" angry black man's charging at him. It's like his top two worst nightmares of all time. Behind getting eaten by a shark and having his dick cut off. And it's just like, oh my god. But yeah, it's like you can imagine that just standing there and just.
That's crazy.
So they called this game off too.
No, they eventually
finish it?
ejected
Both of those,
everyone.
the Indiana
Did they
Pacers
finish it?
team was
They
eviscerated
finished
through
it.
suspension.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And they had a team that they
Art-
thought was going to be like an all-time
Yeah,
for the
I'm
franchise
sure
with
Artest
a
was done
really
for the
good shot at
year.
the title.
They were like, "You're done for the year, like gone." I think Wallace
Honestly-
was done for like 50 games. Like
Oh,
a
that
bunch of them
coach
were, like
is
50 game
pissed.
suspensions, years.
Good old Larry
If
Allen.
something like this happens, it should just be
Larry
like,
Brown.
this is fucking over. Disqualified.
coulda
Game's
sworn they
over.
ended the game.
Fucking go home. Like
I don't think they finished.
They
How
ejected
could
about
you?
4 players. Well,
Because
you
the
had a
fans
bunch.
paid.
Well, no, man, they just played bench players.
They paid.
They got enough bench players. They just covered it and I think continued on. But they kicked
still,
out
man.
Artest and Wallace and like
Yeah,
2
the
other
main
players.
Agitators.
Jermaine O'Neal.
There was a white guy doing nothing.
Well, he's excited because he's about to play now.
He's
Like,
standing
about to
there
get
like,
some-
oh my
man,
God." He's like,
did
"I'm
y'all
getting on the court."
just see that? Did y'all just see that?
Oh, right here he
shit,
gets all
they're
this.
still throwing beer
Well,
bottles.
that's
out?
how it started.
Yeah, look at
They're
that
in
shit.
Detroit,
in
man.
the fight.
Yeah,
Is
no,
during the
this
fight,
was in
the bottles
Indiana,
were coming
wasn't it?
down and hitting the players. They didn't
Is
know
it
where it
Detroit?
came from.
Or Indiana.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
that went him in the neck.
Dude, there
Yeah.
were so many fans who got kicked out of NBA games after this, too. Not just players.
Oh yeah.
Good.
This was when
Oh,
they started
shit.
doing like we're going through the camera footage. We're gonna find everybody that's responded. Like it was a huge deal.
There's fans beating each other
Yeah,
up now.
that's what I'm saying. It just and then
Well,
everybody's
Jermaine
involved
O'Neal's
still.
not trying to be nobody. Like,
that's gotta be
he's
Detroit.
gonna
Did he
go
have
up
a
there.
hammer? What was
And
that?
another dude dumped
fuck.
here, man, right over his face,
Yeah,
just
they just-
nonchalantly. Bloop,
That's
bloop,
just
bloop,
fucking
bloop.
disrespectful. Just,
I paid $8 for this beer. I want to dump it.
Take
Best
that.
that's
beer
got to
ever.
be in Detroit.
Man, I
Jesus.
thought it was in Indiana, but
That's what I
maybe
thought
it was
too,
in Detroit.
but I can't imagine. Yeah.
That's fucked.
Well, if the labeling's right, it would be Detroit.
Good
'cause they have-
lord,
Yeah.
sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
And that's
so-
why you spend like $300 for your front row seat, so you can adequately dump a beer when you
How
want.
many sports events have you gone to and have just been drunk?
A lot. Never.
Mostly all of them.
Have you ever hoped for something like that to happen?
Yes.
I wish. At a Nebraska game or something.
No, my stepdad one time almost got into a
I'd
fight at the
fucking
Yankees
jump in there
game
right away. Start fucking.
because like there's these fucking drunk
Throwing
assholes and they were
haymakers.
like
Yeah.
being all drunk and
Hit my
belligerent,
mom.
cussing
Fuck.
around like these three nuns that were sitting in front of like my stepdad and my mom at the Yankee game, and they were like, these guys were all fucking all this shit, fucking. And my stepdad was like, hey, why don't you be a little respectful, man? Like, what, come on. And the guy was like, fuck you, and he was like, and like my stepdad was kind of crazy, especially when he gets drunk. Like, he was one of those people that they give him a separate nickname when he gets drunk. He becomes Mikey, and Mikey don't give a fuck. Like, he's one of those kind of guys. So it was just like, yeah, it would have been bad. But, yeah, he might have been on TV in a brawl. But I don't know if I've ever wanted a brawl, but I wouldn't give a shit. It'd be interesting to be there.
Especially if your team's losing, though. You're going to be like, yeah, let's fucking fight.
Oh yeah, falls in Colorado.
It
I don't get
happens all the
angry about that
time in
shit with sports.
FIFA.
Like, I don't get angry with sports. It's just fucking sports, man. Like, I
Yeah.
don't get angry about, like, if my team loses, I get upset. Like, sad.
Hockey has
But I
fights.
don't give a shit. Like, whatever. Yeah.
Professional soccer in Europe has fights.
No.
Yeah,
Is
we're
it-
not,
I mean,
let's not act like
is
we're
it-
Some
is it always
shoving,
with the-
but-
I'd say professional
then-
soccer in Europe has terrorist attacks, not
Well,
just fights. They
I
have
mean,
stadiums
depending on the
collapse.
league, if you're in the Spanish league, yeah, they take a dive and then just shove people. But then if you're in Germany, they'll
Well, I'm
like,
talking more
they'll like grab and
fans.
shove you, and they're a little tougher in that Premier League
Yeah.
and English.
You think there'd be a fight here?
No,
No, everyone's
they don't give a shit.
Yeah, everyone's a little.
The ones that are there for a paycheck.
Every fan would be kicking the shit out of each other with no backup.
Well, you can't turn down the Pro Bowl.
Although
can you?
now maybe because it's like, isn't
Sure
it in
you can.
California now? Oh yeah, they do
Sure
it all
you
the time.
can.
Do people, though?
Yeah.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah,
Really?
if they're like
Most-
injured.
Yeah, most of them don't really want to go
Huh.
because it risks an injury for no reason.
Yeah.
Well, and they could also just be injured,
Yeah.
and they're like, nah, I'm just too injured to go. So someone will
Or a
like,
lot of
go-
guys, yeah, they
I
just got done
remember
playing.
Brett
They're like,
Favre was too injured one year, and so a quarterback got to go as an alternate because he couldn't play.
But is he going right? Is he there right now?
Who?
Favre.
No,
No.
Yeah, he's playing.
No, I was talking when Favre
Oh wait, no,
was
I was
a-
thinking about Rodgers.
Oh, Rodgers? Yeah,
I doubt he's there.
I
I
don't
doubt
think
he's there,
yeah.
but
Brett
He
Favre.
probably got elected, but he was like,
Yeah.
no.
Nah.
Because a lot of guys, especially if they just lost last week or whatever, like they're just like, I'm done. I don't
Yeah,
want
that's-
to play anymore. I'm
Yeah.
fucking
Fair
tired.
point.
Like, yeah.
Like Tom Brady was like, I'd
Fair
rather go to
point.
watch a fight.
Yeah, they're like, I literally just got done playing. I don't want to come out and do this shit too. Like, I'm tired.
Young
It's a
guys
chance for a
typically
younger
like
guy,
to go.
A lot of these guys
gives
have
a
been off
younger
for a few
guy
weeks,
that,
so they're
earned it
just like,
maybe.
"Ah, we're gonna
Just
go hang
as
out."
well gives them an opportunity to go.
And I think back in the day, it was when they actually took it seriously. It was a bigger deal, like when it was in Hawaii and shit, because it would give players a chance to go to Hawaii, and it was like a vacation. You could bring your family.
Oh, it's in
and-
Hawaii.
It used
It
to
used
be.
to be.
They moved it.
It's in
Now
Miami
yeah,
right
it's
now,
Miami.
which isn't
But
awful.
still,
But still, it's. I think before it was kind of
Hawaii
He goes
was
wherever the Super Bowl's at. For the Pro
kitschy
Bowl's at
because
now, right?
yeah, it was in Hawaii, so it's like, oh, you can take your vacation.
yeah,
We'll pay
I
for your
think
family
so.
to come out.
I
And
think you're right.
you can do a vacation in Hawaii
Super Bowl's in Miami.
this year.
Yeah, it is.
That rotates though.
Which, by the way, as a nice little segue into Super Bowl talk, the 49ers are undefeated in Miami in the Super Bowl. I just wanted to point that out.
Wow.
Has nothing to do with this year's team.
Okay.
Chiefs are gonna win though.
So it's kind of a toss-up around here. We got two diehard 49er fans,
Yes, sir.
Born and
a
raised.
super diehard Chiefs fan,
Supposedly, everybody's a fucking Chiefs fan now.
two kind of undecided
Yeah.
rooting for the Chiefs. No,
Up in the
and I
air.
will say more than that. I have to root for the Chiefs this year because I went to a Chiefs game
Cool.
and I like Mahomes. And
Yeah, I like Mahomes.
Although I think it's fair to say,
And
I
I
think
think
there's
they
more
deserve it.
bandwagon
Got a
49ers
few
fans this
Mahomes
year
in here.
since we sucked last year.
you guys,
Everybody
can
thought we were terrible.
You can admit
It's
though.
true.
You
But
lost
they
your
had no
starting
idea what the
quarterback
fuck
to
was
the
happening.
Chiefs.
We were
so your
picked
season
to
was
go
not after
4-11 this year.
And then we were blessed. See, and it pisses
Blessed
me
with
off.
good health for the most part, except for defense.
Well, the Garoppolo injury was actually a blessing because it allowed us to get Nick Bosa.
Do you?
And that's actually a question maybe you would know because you're very into information and stats, but I was curious about this. I was talking to somebody else about it. What is the earliest draft pick to go to the Super Bowl their rookie year? Because generally,
It's happened quite a few times.
because
I know
generally
Tony
early
Dorsett
early
was one of the
picks
first players
are
to do
going
it.
to bad teams, so they generally don't have a quick turnaround over a year.
Tony Dorsett was one of those people way back in the day. He was one of the first people to win a national championship and win a Super Bowl like in successive seasons.
No shit.
Dorsett wasn't a number 1 pick, was he?
Yeah, for Dallas.
No, I mean I know he was
First
first round,
round,
but he
not
wasn't a
first.
first overall.
Oh, first overall.
I'm talking like
Okay.
like Nick Bosa is number 2 overall last year, and he's playing in the Super Bowl his rookie year.
So yeah, I see what you mean now.
So I'm like-
I thought you just meant like first round pick.
No. That,
'Cause
obviously,
otherwise-
first round picks happen all the time.
It's happened a
'cause
few
good teams
times.
have first round picks.
Yeah, but it's only happened a few times.
But I'm
where
just, like,
those
curious
bad
as to,
teams
like-
have turned it around. In
Yeah,
one season.
like,
You're
if
trying
a-
to ask about the hype players.
Dan Marino,
Yeah,
maybe?
like if a number
The
1 overall
highest
pick went to a
ranked-
Super
Was
Bowl
Dan
the
Marino
rookie
number
year.
1 overall?
the highest rank, huh?
Was Dan Marino number 1 overall?
He was
No.
top 5, I believe.
No. Marino was like at the end of the first round. He went after
Was he?
like all the other quarterbacks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was like at the end of the first.
And then
round.
he didn't go to a Super Bowl until his second year in the.
Was it
in the
second?
league,
All right.
84.
But he was like,
Against
yeah,
the
he was like a
Niners.
23rd overall or something like that because a bunch of people passed on him because they
Well,
thought he had
dude,
he had swagger and he had an attitude and he was
they
a
were-
pretty boy. And
But there were a ton of good quarterbacks in that. I mean, you had Jim
well,
Kelly.
yeah, but the problem was is the bad ones went before him too.
Not really. They were-
O'Brien.
Jim Kelly went before him.
Well, yeah, but Kelly, I'd
Todd
still rather
Blackledge
have.
to the Chiefs.
That's Blackledge
Yeah.
went.
Fuck, fuck
1983.
Todd Blackledge. And I'm not even.
Yeah,
mad at
The
Blackledge
that.
Chiefs didn't
went,
draft
Ken
another
O'Brien went to the
quarterback in the
Jets
first
before
round until Mahomes after Blackledge.
Yeah, if you look at that, that was still was it the '84 class? That was like the most loaded quarterback class like of all time.
Dude, it had its own 30 for 30.
The only guy that didn't
Wasn't-
go to the Hall
didn't
of
Elway go
Fame
first that
out of
year,
that
right?
first round of quarterbacks was the one the Chiefs took.
No, Ken O'Brien didn't go either.
Yeah, Ken O'Brien.
I don't even know who the hell he is.
Exactly.
Ken O'Brien? He was a starting quarterback for the Jets for quite a few years
Yeah.
in the 90s.
He was serviceable, but he wasn't Dan Marino.
No. It was the 1983 draft.
The
Yeah,
83.
man.
Yeah, there was like a ridiculous amount of like quarterbacks that went that year.
So, will you guys admit that Mahomes is better than Garoppolo?
Yeah,
Of
I mean
course it
that's
is.
not
That's
a
not
big
even in question.
Okay.
But guess
So,
what?
do the Chiefs
What's
have a better
really neat-
offense?
This brings
than
up a
Niners?
good
What's
point.
super neat though is
And
that
I'm just
Jimmy,
trying to talk this
Jimmy
out.
Garoppolo doesn't have to be the best quarterback.
Better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right
they
now
have a
he
better
doesn't have
team.
We don't need him to
You
throw
think they have a
60
better
times.
offense than Kansas City's offense?
Oof.
I think we have more versatile
Man,
offense.
no, I'll have to disagree.
Okay.
I think we're.
Dude,
I
we
mean,
could have
it
a
doesn't-
fullback take over our games.
It doesn't. We're probably more multiple.
That's why I said versatile.
I wouldn't say
We
we're
can
better.
do more things.
I wouldn't say we're
Schematics.
better because we're not as explosive, but I wouldn't say we're
I don't think they could rely on
worse
their run game if they had to.
because we're more diverse. We can find ways, whether it's through the air or through the ground.
all you have to do is look at the Saints game and then look at the fucking.
Chiefs don't
Packers
have to
game.
run the ball though.
Derek, rebuttal that.
They don't have to run the ball. We have a Mahomes.
And that's true. That's the
And
point I was
Andy
making.
Reid also.
But
he
you
doesn't-
couldn't if you had to.
Andy Reid.
We can adjust. We can
Andy
do anything.
Reid, when he runs his offense,
rebuttal.
doesn't have to run a ball either. He runs all those little pitch out shots to the outside, which is effectively a run where he throws the ball just a couple yards down across, down the field maybe, and the guy gets a shot on the outside. It's effectively a run,
And that's not
our
wrong.
running backs. The important thing, and with Mahomes at the very least, anyways, is
Sorry.
we've had good running backs. Is
Yeah.
having a guy that can catch and a guy that can block on third downs.
the last good running back you had was good at beating the shit out of his wife.
And just got
That
popped
didn't
for
happen.
weed and stuff.
Let's
but,
not
yeah.
let's not go there.
We don't have to go there, but no.
We're gonna
and
start a brawl
what
in here.
The running game does for Kansas City
He
is
wasn't married to
different. Is not what the running game, excuse me, does for Kansas City. Isn't it all different than
that's
what
okay.
the running game does for San Francisco?
Yeah.
The only problem is the 49ers obviously can just run the ball better, but at the same time, Kansas City, when they do that play action stuff after they've set it up a bit with their running game, it's wildly effective. And the fact that they can
Running game will only get you so far, though. In the NFL.
and what
The Chiefs
what I
force you to abandon
It'll
the
get you
running
to
game.
and what I
Yeah.
heard
Yeah.
is and what I heard the best description of this is that the Kansas City, because of how fast Kansas City is, all they try to do is make the defense stop for a second. So their run game is just to make people that are sitting in zone trying to defend the pass. They're just making those dudes stop for just a second because they know they've got the speed game on 3 of the 4 matchups, and sometimes all 4 matchups if you include Travis Kelce.
You kind of have to.
I mean, if you can get a defender to stop for a second, they're going to beat that zone play because Mahomes is going to hit that tight window, and he's proven to do it over and over and over again. And all you can try to do is just keep everything in front of you, but it's so fast, and that's what you have.
We'll
to
see
defend.
if they can deal with the line that can get pressure with just 4 guys.
Well, I thought the 49ers were
that all
supposed
year.
We don't have to blitz.
And the problem
pressure.
is they have done that all year. We just have to get there. That's the.
I'm not
that's
saying
the
their
goal.
line's done it all year. Mahomes just knows how to evade.
Correct.
Sure.
Their line's
He's a bigger
solid.
quarterback
It's
than
not
a lot
of-
awesome, but
They
it's
also
solid.
haven't played the best
Scrambler.
defensive line in football.
And he's
To get
fact,
pressure off of 4 people.
While that's a fact,
where we can
he's
drop 7 in the backfield.
We haven't tried
people
to
have-
tackle a dude that's
People have dropped
220.
7 plenty of times on us, though. Mahomes, he knows what he's
We
doing.
played
Right.
Lamar. We dealt with that.
Mahomes will
And
be
beat
the
him.
biggest quarterback that we've gone
I was at
after.
that game.
You think they'll only rush for like the most?
Our
of the
D, our
game?
D line
Oh, yeah.
averages, what, 280, 290 pounds?
I don't know. Who's
Like,
your star
they're huge.
defensive
I'm not
player?
worried about a
We've
220
got all
pound
4.
quarterback.
Nick Bosa, DeForest Buckner,
And Nick Bosa's not even big,
You know
dude.
what's going to happen this game.
D Ford, and
It's going to come
And they
down
rotate 8
to the
guys.
final possession,
They
and
have
D
8
Ford's going to
viable
line up
starters.
offsides.
oh yeah, because that happened before. Which,
No,
by the way, I
that's-
wanted to thank all
Now that
Chiefs
he's playing for a
fans
good team, he won't
for
fuck that
D
up.
Ford.
Well,
D Ford's been a great addition to our D line.
Somebody's a little bitter.
hopefully there's not going to be a flag on him.
Yeah, I know. Well, for their sake,
We'll
for
see.
sure.
He gets injured a lot, too. He's got back issues.
That's
I
all
think
right.
It's true.
Both
He's
families-
actually going into this game questionable.
But they're.
But he gets
you
2
have
weeks
a
to
couple
get ready,
weeks
so.
off. Yeah, they should be.
Well,
ready.
yeah,
If
he
you're not
missed.
ready.
I mean, he missed
you're
a
fine.
good chunk of the season towards the end of the year, and obviously our defense took
A
a step
lot
down
of our
when he did.
a
Yeah.
lot of our defense did.
But then
lot.
when everybody came back for the playoffs, you saw exactly what happened. Like
Yeah, we had
They're nasty.
we had missing players at all 3 points of on all 3 lines basically. So we had Jaquoski Tart out for a considerable amount of time. Jimmy Ward at some point was missing for a period amount of time.
you don't know those names, but they're important. Jesus.
Quan Alexander has been out for most of the season with a torn pec and has
And
come
he's
back, and
huge
that's
for the team.
That's huge. At certain points,
Is he going to play a full game, though? Like, I know
We
he'll
lost
start,
Joe
finish.
Staley and
Yeah.
Mike McGlinchey through
Our
half of that
top
season.
2 tackles are
Going into
yeah.
the Baltimore game.
Quan
It's
Alexander's
insane.
come back
And
from
we
a torn
still-
pec, though. Like, how much is
He's
he
already
going to
been
really
back.
play?
I know, right?
He's been
a
back,
lot.
though.
He's been back for 3 weeks or 2 weeks.
He's been
now.
tearing it up in the playoffs.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's been 2 weeks now, but 1 game he's played since coming back, and he played, I think, half the game, enough snaps
Half the
to be
snaps
there.
or whatever?
Yeah, basically.
Half a snap.
But then since he was out, we actually picked up we turned out we got a lot of fucking
Drake.
depth. Is it Greenlaw?
Dre Greenlaw
Yeah,
has
Greenlaw,
been
that
like
boy's
the
bad.
biggest mind-blowing surprise
Yeah.
for me personally.
Was he
because
like 5th, 6th round pick?
4th or 5th round
Yeah.
out of Arkansas,
And
and I was
just-
like, "Who?"
Yeah.
And I looked at the film and I wasn't blown away, but then I'm not like a football guy, or savant or anything like that. But dude, he is a brick house. That game
awesome.
against Seattle where we stopped him at the 1-inch line
Yep.
and won that game
To
on
get
the final
first-
play.
the number 1 seed.
That was Dre Greenlaw.
What's the weakness, do you guys think, on your defense?
Probably the secondary.
All of
And
them.
that's
Even
what the
with-
Chiefs are good at. I knew you
Yeah,
were going to say
but
that.
the best thing about that is we've taken that part out of it, and that's inserting Mosley.
Yeah,
Because
Mosley's a
Mosley,
stud.
yeah, he came in for Witherspoon and pretty much shut the game down
Yep.
when Witherspoon
They gave
was
up the
getting
long
beat.
touchdown. Witherspoon did, and then as soon as they
You talking
pulled
about
him,
Green Bay?
Yep, they
Yeah.
pulled him as soon as that happened, and they did shit after that. They did nothing.
That first drive down the field, all they did was pick on him. And
Yeah, but
he
Green Bay's
left.
offense has been suspect. to
And our
me
defense
all
is so
year.
awesome that the
You're
guy that got
facing
benched,
something you
They've only got
haven't
one
faced.
wide receiver.
the guy that got benched offered to take the other guy's special team spot so he doesn't risk getting
The
hurt
Chiefs'
on special
offense
teams.
is a fucking
Raheem Mostert,
hydra, dude.
yeah.
They got so many playmakers everywhere. You fuck up one thing,
true.
somebody's burning you.
We can do that too.
Yeah.
Did you
That's
not,
what's-
did you
Out
not,
of the
what's
ground
neat.
game, though.
Everybody thinks
Out of the
Garoppolo
ground
can't
game.
do it, but did you watch the Saints game? Probably not.
Oh, when it was 45-44 or whatever?
Yeah, Jimmy went for
And
like
Jimmy went
almost
off.
4. Yeah, he went for almost 404 touchdowns. He threw a pick, but I mean,
It was
So he had one game like Patrick.
No,
Mahomes.
that's just one.
No,
that's just one
the
example.
latest example. It's just a matter of he can do it because all everybody
He's
says
done
is
it a few
Garoppolo
times
can't
this year.
carry a team. He only throws it 9 times. That's all they had to do. He can fucking carry a team.
Okay.
That was like a playoff atmosphere sort of game. And
All right, so
I've got full faith in Jimmy G. I ain't worried about that.
you guys have been trash talking this the whole time, but I want to know
Yeah.
your prediction actually and explanation. So I'll start. I think it's going to be 28-24 Kansas City.
Well, that's because you're a dumbass.
It's gonna be a very close game. It's gonna be one score,
so.
another score, defense. Field goal, score. It's gonna go back and forth. But Kansas City's gonna pull it out in the end. It's gonna be a close game the entire game. Chase, your opinion.
I think 49ers are going to kick the Chiefs' ass.
Oh,
I mean, the first half, and then Chiefs are going to come back and win it. Just because Mahomes, I just feel like he wants it more. I don't know. Just like by looking at him, he just.
I think
seems like
Chiefs' whole team wants it more. What's the score?
Today they all dressed up getting off the plane as Andy
How the fuck
Reid
could you say that?
in Tommy Bahama shirts.
I don't know about that. Both teams are going to want it pretty
They all
bad.
They all
win a
won.
I don't know,
championship.
30,
We've been
Okay.
fucking shit talked on.
37 to 28.
Predictions. Don't rough
37-28 Chiefs.
37-28. Okay,
That's a good one.
here we go. Tony.
Look at these Niners fans getting all pissed off.
I do agree that's going to be a close game.
Can I open that door?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Need a little sunshine in my life.
One way or another, I think it's going to be kind of a typical game because I think we've had games like this, and the Chiefs have had games like this. Somebody's going to get out to a big lead, I think, or at least a sizable lead somewhat, and it'll be about halftime adjustments. That's usually what it comes down to because both teams have
And
done.
that's fair. It always does.
I've seen
That's
both teams
the
have this
NFL.
game where they either get behind or they get ahead,
So what's your prediction?
and at halftime something changes.
He's explaining. He's getting to it.
Dang,
Everyone gets a minute.
dang, D. D's like, get to me. Get to the point. Ask my opinion.
So I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to kind of come down to the second half, just like Chase said.
Garoppolo can bring it back. And
I think he can if he
finish
has
the
to.
game.
Yeah, I'm not
Finish
worried
the
about
game.
that. But
Finish the goddamn story.
what I think is going to happen is the Niners are going to not kick the shit out of them, but they're going to wear them down because that's what they do. They're just going to punch in the face a
I can
bunch.
see that. I can see that. A
And
couple sacks.
even if they, yeah, of course, you got to.
How many sacks?
At least 2.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And you got to disrupt.
Big ones.
Oh,
Well,
if you lay
If
one
you
good hit
sack
on him, that'd be
Mahomes,
awesome.
It's big.
Yeah.
Like Mahomes
Because he's
doesn't
so,
get sacked.
he's like Russell Wilson. If you can get Russell Wilson, I'm
Yeah, that's
surprised.
Shaken.
anytime you get Russell Wilson, anytime you get Patrick Mahomes,
It's a shock, and
that's
you're
a
like,
big
that's what
sack.
you need to do.
It's big.
I will agree. I've seen Mahomes a little shaken after a hit. You know, I mean, like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
you know.
It happens to
And
anybody.
then his next, yeah,
You get a
exactly.
300-pound
His
dude
next
hit you
drill
real
is
hard.
hard
a
shook
little
after
off.
getting hit.
Yeah,
and
you're gonna
Jimmy's been
kinda,
hit quite a bit this year.
Okay.
So I think we get a couple
final
hits on
score.
him. I think we're going to push on him a little bit, and I think. Oh shit! I hesitate to go too
Got
low
some- You've had time to.
because I think we'll throw down a little bit, but I think it's going to be like a 27-24 kind of thing.
That was what I said. I said 28-24.
Yeah, well, I said 27-24.
Okay.
It's going to come down to a field goal. Yeah, of course.
Okay. End field goal.
I think it'll come down to a field goal. I don't know if it'll end
Yeah.
in a field goal. I think it'll come down to a field goal.
Okay. All right. Who has the ball last? Who fucks
Whoever
up?
wins.
Who fucks?
Yeah.
Who
Niners.
fucks up at
Actually,
the end?
While you're joking, that's probably true.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to
It's whoever has the
I'm,
ball last.
I'm waiting my turn. So
Yeah,
Okay,
I think it'll be because what's going to happen is either Kansas City's going to make a big fucking play at the end and win it, or San Francisco's going to have the ball because they've been just pushing the fucking ball on them, and they're going to have it at the end. So it's going to be whoever has it at the end.
All right.
So what's your
the
prediction?
I just gave it. I said
You just gave us
27-24.
both teams could win.
20
I said 27-24 Niners.
Niners, okay.
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
They sound kind of scared, actually.
No,
That's a
I'm
close.
scared.
That's a close match.
But I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be exciting. I think Patrick's going to do some good shit, but I think the Niners are going to do some shit.
All right. Those are good
There's
numbers.
going to be big plays,
Very
and that's
good.
going to just we'll
Oh,
see.
yeah.
Ryan.
Well, there's not much I can add to that. I agree for the most part. I think both teams score a lot more,
Should have
and
interrupted you guys.
I would not be surprised. Excuse me. I would not be surprised if after the first quarter this is a 7-7 or 0-0 game, and everyone's like,
brand new game.
Holy cow! I guess this is going to be defensive, But I feel like for the most part, both offenses might try to just see how each team reacts. I feel like both offensive coordinators, offensive coordinators are wicked good at their craft.
Niners, I like
I'm already like so Ninered up, right? So, no, I feel both offensive coordinators are wicked good, Andy Reid included, at what they do. And I feel like both are going to call plays to feel out, see how each defense reacts. And I think each defense reacts well, and they do some things, and you really don't see some shit until the second quarter. I agree, though, that while we might get Mahomes 1 to 2 times, I think that happens, and he's under pressure a lot. He's going to get his too. Tyreek Hill's going to get behind some of us. Like that's happening. Like you can't get that. We might even be in perfect coverage, and they'll complete a pass because Mahomes is that good. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like both teams,
he'll find the weaknesses.
Both teams are so good that they will each get theirs. But man, the 49ers have been battle tested all season so hard. We've had so many people hurt throughout the year and barely lost. Like we lost 3 games by the last play. Baltimore and Seattle the first game in San Francisco, and then one other game that escapes me. That
you guys also won games in the last play, though.
But we've also done that too, which is a kind of where
Seattle. The next game was last game. You fucking half-yard line.
Last play. So we're so battle tested, right? So like it, and while it's super hard to say that I feel like the 49ers are going to win, like I've never been so terrified of an opponent at the same time because of how they can get theirs at the same time. So I still think the 49ers win more of a 35-30 or 34-31. Affair where we probably run for a couple hundred yards.
That field goal, though.
Yeah, and while it may not be on the last play, I feel like that's just where it lands. Like I said, both offenses are going to make this look like a track meet at some point, whether it's Raheem Mostert. The way they set up that toss play, and then, I know Kansas City is going to jump on the fact that, or Kansas City fans might jump on the fact that they stopped Derrick Henry because they ran that same shit where you try to run the outside zone. The problem with what Tennessee did is Derrick Henry wasn't setting up those runs. He was just trying to run outside, then swing in and go, right?
It's entirely
Kansas
different
City's
running games.
too good. Kansas City's too good for you to not set up how you're going to attack the hole. And when Henry went in there, Chris Jones and fam just swallowed it up. So how do you affect that? You basically do what we did to Green Bay, what we did to a really fucking good defense in Minnesota, and that's just get out there and then make your fast cuts. You got to really get outside wide, and with how fast we are, they're going to respect that speed, which might open up some inside jumps, some screens. That play action game is really going to get them to. I know Kansas City does the same thing with their run game, but I just like the 49ers overall, 34-31.
All right. Very good analysis. Derek.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Both teams over 30. You might see one team get over 40, if it's a last field goal or touchdown to win it.
I can see that, 41-38, 41-37, some shit. Yeah.
I think if you compare the teams overall, I think the Niners have better overall talent. But I think with Mahomes, if you got an elite quarterback, it makes up for so much.
Yeah.
And I also think that on defense with Matthew and Frank Clark, they've been just balling the second half of the season, coming into a new offense.
Don't forget Suggs.
I think Suggs is a huge pickup.
You can't sleep on how good that's made you guys in the last 4 weeks.
Suggs is huge. You
you guys developed a pass rush, which hasn't happened pretty much.
No, we've been
all
actually
year,
really
for the
good
most
pass
part.
rushing.
I mean,
we're top. We've been. I know we're a top 10. I think we're a top 5 team in sacks.
Fair enough. We lead the league, but continue.
We don't have to think. We know.
Well, let's go on with Derek's prediction.
I know. I'm sorry, but that's a fair point. Sorry.
So, Frank Clark, to start off the season, he had a pinched nerve. So I went to the troops training camp, and he was barely practicing. He was on the bike all the whole time. And then come to find out, week 10 or something, 12 of the season, he was playing with this pinched nerve, and he was doing, all right, but he didn't look explosive. Once he overcame that, he's been on a tear lately. I think he had 3 sacks, 2 or 3 in their last playoff game, and the last season of the game he had 3 sacks. He's been going nuts. I think he's going to make some crazy plays. Tyrann Mathieu has been going off second half of the season. Whole new defense, tons of new players. The team has slowly been gelling, and they're peaking at the right time. Yeah. They've been the number 1 scoring defense in the league since week 12, I think. Yeah. So Matthew's been balling. He made All-Pro. I think what's going to end up happening is it's going to look like a neck-and-neck game, whoever has ball last. I think Frank Clark and or Mathieu are going to end up making a crazy fucking play, get the ball back, and Mahomes is going to step on the throat, and the Chiefs are going to win by like 9 or 10 points.
What was the final score again?
I can see something like 41-32, something like that.
Okay. I like that. Good job, everyone. Nice predictions. I didn't ask this. Is turnovers going to be big?
Always is.
Yeah.
Always is?
Yeah.
Who wins the turnover battle? Quickly.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs get that last turnover that makes the big deal. And then Mahomes steps in the throat.
I feel like the 49ers are going to get a couple interceptions.
The Chiefs have been really good at intercepting the ball. We can actually we've been really good at forcing fumbles during sack attempts, and that's just a matter of getting to Mahomes. Mahomes is not prone to that, so that'll be something that the
It's gonna be
defense is
major.
challenging.
Our entire
happens.
defense goes for strips.
Yeah.
That's what Robert Saleh.
We've won
That's what
some
he
games
preaches,
pretty much
turnovers.
on that. Like there's been times where that play right there has sealed a deal in some fashion.
So when they're going for sacks, you watch the entire time they're trying to swat that ball, no matter what. So even if they don't get there, they're trying to.
That's
do it.
the way to
Chiefs
play.
D does that too, but
That's
we've just
been a big
more
strategy
fortunate.
on the Chiefs.
Yeah,
The
we've
amount
just
of
been
teams
probably
that
more
punch,
fortunate.
they'll forgo the tackle to punch the ball on the Chiefs.
Matthew's really good.
Well,
at
I'm not
coming in
talking
with the
about players
punching.
for the Chiefs. Teams playing the Chiefs, starting with the Lions. The Lions this year were punching the ball out left and fucking right, and then all these teams just started doing it. They wouldn't even go for the tackle. They just go straight for a ball punch.
Well, Niners are going for tackles, but we're going for turnovers. I mean, that's what their whole defense.
We've
is
been pretty
predicated
fortunate
on.
at that. Yeah.
And
So
that's
far.
and they have the fucking horses to do it.
One stat to think about is we've led the league this year in sacks, which is 56. The last 6 times that a team has eclipsed 55 sacks for a team in the season, they've all won the Super Bowl.
Wow.
That's two
No,
Giants
teams that have eclipsed that number that went to the Super Bowl
correct.
won it.
Yes, that's what I'm pointing out. So we're one of those teams right now.
Yeah, the Chiefs had over 50 last year. They didn't go to the Super Bowl, obviously.
Correct. So
And they had an historically bad defense.
So like that historic that Giants defense with Michael Strahan, they were one of those defenses. Two teams,
Coached by who?
Oh, yes,
On the defense, Spagnuolo
Spagnuolo.
for the Chiefs.
Exactly. I was hoping you'd point that out. Thank you. 2 Pittsburgh defenses in the mid 2000s because James Harrison and the fucking Polamalu. I think there was a Patriots defense in there, but yeah. So there's an interesting stat. When probably my favorite stat so far leading up to the Super Bowl, I wanted to get in before we're done, is that there are only 2 teams in the NFL that average over 10 miles an hour on scoring plays.
Oh, yeah, Chiefs and Niners.
And the Chiefs are number
great
1. Chiefs are number 1 at 13.36 miles per hour on scoring plays. The 49ers are number 2 at 13.35 miles per hour.
Oh,
So
Really?
both teams fucking get after it with the speed. And third place is not even close. Like I said, third place is like a couple miles per hour behind. So
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Quick
That's
strike
what's going to
offense.
be
Well, that's
sweet about this
that's
Super Bowl.
a
is
big
that
difference between-
There's just going to be so much fucking speed between
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, Raheem Mostert, Matt Breida, Mecole Hardman.
That's crazy.
I
Can't
feel like
sleep
the
on
Chiefs got
Sammy
the edge on
Watkins.
playmakers overall.
course.
Offense
Overall,
or defense.
maybe.
I feel like they just got guys
by
to throw haymakers.
one,
Well, yeah,
by
you've got
one player maybe overall.
Just 8 tons of speed out
But
there.
yes, that would be correct.
You got like video game speed out there. It's crazy.
I'm not just talking about the speed. Just guys that can throw a fucking haymaker and change a game. Like
I don't know.
Frank Clark's
That I
huge,
can't agree.
And
No.
Matthews
Yeah.
nuts.
No, you got a lot of speed. Yeah, I
And
mean,
then on offense, they have speed, and all those guys are fucking home
you got like
runners.
2 dudes that can change the game on defense.
You do have
Every single guy on our
They have
defense
a lot
can
of
change the
solid
game.
dudes, though. Javarius Ward, do
There's
not
a
sleep
difference-
on. That
there's a
guy's
difference
been
between
top
solid
3 in
dudes
PFF, like coverage-wise.
and damn near all pros
Breeland's
at every
been
level.
fucking top 10.
We've got like all pros. at
Breida
every
has
level. Like,
Breida
it's-
has the fastest touchdown this year. But
Yeah. The difference between our running game and Tennessee's running
Fucking
game
Tyreek Hill,
is we
though,
got
has,
all
like,
of our
all the
shit
others.
before contact. Like, we got so many yards before even getting touched. That's not Derrick Henry's way. Derrick Henry's way is to try to run people over, make contact. That's not what we do.
They can get through.
Our line pushes people out of the way and then just run.
And the X
That's why
factor
we
is
are
Kittle.
so fast. We don't have the burners like you guys do. We have so much speed because we have the fucking plays. We have the setups. We have the line to fucking make those plays happen to where we don't even have to worry about it. They just run.
That's what Reed's all about.
I was going to say, the run sets up those guys, kind of like part of what I was saying. Like, they're so fast, they try to make you stop for a second. And if you stop for a second, Kansas City wins that matchup. Because you guys are so fast. Richard Sherman, for as good as he is, for as great as Richard Sherman is, he's nowhere near as fast enough to shut down Tyreek Hill.
He ran a 4.5 coming out of his college pro day, and he's torn Achilles, and he's 31.
Yeah. No,
Thankfully,
he's a zone
cover
corner.
3 defense because, I mean, he's just going to
You guys keep everything in front of yourselves and try to kill that big, which is what the,
We'll
what's crazy.
We'll go, man.
The greatest thing about
Niners do
Richard
not give
Sherman,
up big plays, and the Chiefs are like not necessarily predicated on big plays, but it's definitely what they're known for.
And we've been thankful because we've got that front four to pull it
and
up.
people always forget about with Richard Sherman, it's not necessarily his athleticism and how fast he is and all that shit. He's probably smarter than anybody on that field.
He's a smart person,
He's
not
the
just
one
on the
Not
field.
only football smarts. I mean, he went to Stanford. Like, he's a
not
smart
a dumb kid.
motherfucker. Like, he knows what he's
I
doing.
think he
That's
had
why
a-
people avoid him. Cause,
something like a 3.8 GPA in high school.
even Peyton is like, we don't throw near him. It's just you don't do it. He's smarter than everybody out there. He knows where you're going to throw the ball before you do. Like, you just don't do it. And he's gotten burned, but guess what? He turns around and gets an interception at the end of the game. Like, it's not about his athleticism. It's about he knows
He can
the
go
game
down
better
and shut
than you
down
do.
whoever he wants on his side of the field because the Chiefs got too
He's
many
our coach on
playmakers.
defense.
If you can,
and
be
he's out
that
there on the
smart
field.
and instinctual. You don't have to be otherworldly fast. You just have
He'll
to
be in the place
in
before
right
you
place
realize
in the
he's
right
there.
time.
Like,
It's crazy we're saying he only ran a 4.5 coming
I know,
out of
right?
college.
Isn't that crazy? He's still faster than anything I've ever done. So,
Yeah.
whatever.
I got cars aren't that fast, but you know.
But yeah, we're gonna see so much speed during the Super Bowl. It's gonna be fucking fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah,
hoping
it's a Super
I'm
Bowl.
hoping I get to see it with a bunch of people, like, because it's just gonna be that.
I gotta
Yeah.
ask, did anybody see Lamar Jackson's Pro Bowl thing of the quarterback skill test yesterday?
No, I missed the skills competition.
I think he only hit one target,
No shit.
and two wide
shit.
receivers beat him.
Oh my god,
Oh damn.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I watched.
Well, they don't run the zone.
I
or
watched
the zone run
basically
game.
all of the dodgeball. So
How was that?
They had dodgeball.
yeah, they
Oh,
played
shit.
dodgeball at the end.
I
of it.
saw the
It's
guy from
actually
the
pretty
Colts, the
fun.
lineman, was it
That's-
Nelson?
I was- yeah,
Got popped in the face.
I wanted to watch the skills competition more
Blasted
than I wanted to watch
right
the
in the
actual Pro Bowl.
face. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Because to me, that's what they should do instead of a Pro Bowl. They don't give a shit about the Pro Bowl.
That's
But if
why
you
they
did,
had the
like
game
skills
stuff now.
competitions
Yeah, they
and
have a
stuff,
lot of
that'd be
that.
awesome.
They do some individual skill comps, and then at the end it's like, all right, all for one and one for all, that wants to be a part of it. And then it's just like they do 3 waves, so you have like 2 different teams basically made up, and so on each side, so you'll have one game, it'll be one of their teams. Second game is the second set, and then if there's a tiebreaker, then it's kind of like a mixture of the first 2 teams.
Nice.
That did well or whatnot, and then basically, and then they've got honorary captains, which this year it was Darryl
Green and Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith, thank you. Yeah. But this one was
Yeah,
pretty
see,
cool.
I'd be way more into just watching like a skills competition for the Pro Bowl instead of an actual like Pro Bowl. Because like I don't want to watch a game where people don't give a shit.
Yeah. I miss watching the fast. You guys remember in the '90s there was always like the fastest player in the NFL series, like in the summer, and it was just Darryl Green basically burning every
Every year,
running
every day.
4.3s when he was like over 35.
Yeah, he was 41
Dude, he was
years
40
old running
running
a 4.40.
4.30. Yeah, 4.4s.
He was running a 4.4 at 40.
Yeah, Darryl Green's a freak.
That's why he played for as long as he did, because he couldn't
could.
slow down. He was still like stupid fast. He was unfair in like Tecmo's Super Bowl if you got an interception with him, because it was a touchdown likely. Basically any old video game
like
that had
second most
Darryl
dominant
Green.
player after Bo.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
It doesn't even seem like he's really trying.
Yeah, he's not stepping into his throws very well.
Yeah, he's
That time he stepped left of his target. That one was more into it, and look
Yeah.
how well that threw, and it was
That
still
was-
short,
yeah.
but it was at least on target. And then he sidearmed that one.
You can't even
Sorry,
hit the
man.
one.
I'm the worst watching quarterbacks. You better have a good throwing motion as a quarterback in front of me, because I will break you down. And yeah, that he's only had probably like 2 or 3 throws that were good. That one was probably his best looking one, and he almost hit it.
to be fair, like if you're throwing to receivers,
Jeez.
they're not going to be stuck in this little, they can reach up and get it.
Yeah,
So-
but ideally, you'd think
Get
that
the
you
one-
can hit a stationary target.
Well, and maybe part of the problem is he's not running.
Jesus.
He needs to get a little mobile.
Oh
Maybe he
my
should
gosh.
run around. He seems to be
That's
really
That's
accurate
a fair
when he's
point.
running around.
Maybe he should have rolled out and tried to throw
Yeah.
it on the
He's
run.
MVP, man.
Like,
I'm
'cause
a
that's
huge
how he-
Lamar fan. He
that's
came
how
out
he
with my
plays,
favorite college team.
is
But,
on rollouts and shit. He doesn't play standing
He was
there.
announced as MVP.
it's not
Well,
official
it's-
yet.
When
I
is
don't
it-
think
when is
so,
that
but I
announced?
think he is. I
It's
don't
gonna
think
be
you
pretty,
can. If it's not
unanimous.
Patrick Mahomes, it's definitely
do they
Lamar
announce
Jackson.
It won't be Patrick.
And he had a better
Yeah,
season.
He might get third. If
He
at
just
all.
had a ridiculous season.
But when do they announce it?
It's after the
this
Super
week,
Bowl,
after
I
the
think.
after the Pro Bowl's done.
Is it before the Super Bowl?
Yeah, they'll
Like tonight?
They'll announce it this week at some
Is
point
it?
leading
It's
up to
weird.
the Super Bowl.
It's the timing's crazy. Curtis Blades knocked the shit out of Junior Dos Santos, apparently.
Well, I think we're definitely going to see a fucking awesome Super Bowl this
Man,
year. I think it's going to be really fun.
I'm pumped and weirded out.
Yeah.
I'm used to being part of Super Bowls where I'm not playing a team that everyone that I know loves.
I'm gonna watch that.
In some fashion. And
Yeah.
now this year, like, because we played Baltimore a few years ago, everyone was kind of
Yeah,
like,
nobody
yeah,
gave a shit
whatever.
about that.
Like, yeah, so everyone was like, yeah, go Niners
You
because I
gotta-
know Ryan. But like now it's like, go Chiefs, like in my face every day.
Well, some people
Which
root
I
for the
get,
Niners
it's cool.
because they were anti
I
Ray
think
Lewis since he
people-
murdered people.
People are pumped that the Patriots are
allegedly.
in it.
Yeah, there's also that part. That's why
Yeah.
there might be a lot of Chiefs fans just for that because they're representing a conference that doesn't include New
The
England.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the numbers this year. Just be like the no Patriots Super Bowl. Like, I
Question
think
for you.
a lot more people are going to give a shit because there's no Patriots in it too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that's
People
going to be
are
interesting
more
to see.
pumped.
I did
Right.
read something recently about how excited people were for not having Patriots.
How long has it been?
Nothing
since,
related to this Super Bowl other than the Patriots aren't in it.
How long has it been since the Patriots haven't been?
Not that long.
3
They haven't been in it
years?
like every year,
They've
but
been in the
it
last
just
3.
seems like it. And
When
people are
they
just
when they
like,
played
oh.
Atlanta a few years ago and came back and won.
in the last
Well,
10
but
years.
they've been in 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
But they in the last 10 years haven't they won 6?
Yeah, they have 6.
Something like that.
well,
They
They've-
have 6 in the last.
Brady has
15,
won
maybe.
6, and he's been to 9, I think.
Correct. They've lost to the
Recently-
But that's
Giants.
been since
They've lost to the
2001.
Giants twice,
Yeah.
They won 3 early in his career,
and
won
they
3
lost
later in
to
his career.
they lost to
Jeez.
they lost to the
Giants
Giants
twice.
They lost to the Eagles,
And, that,
and
that was it.
then I think
They've won
there's
6.
one.
And that, the
yeah,
3
that's
losses,
it.
that's 9.
That's it.
Yep.
We've only lost one Super Bowl.
Correct. And that was after the lights shut off.
Yeah, right?
We had-
Shady action there going
We were
on.
fucking winning.
We were rolling.
Mahomes is about to
Momentum.
knock your lights out
And
again.
then all of a sudden the
We
lights
was-
went out.
Yeah, we was rolling.
All of a sudden, game changed. I was a sad panda.
Mm-hmm.
Did
Dude,
not
as
go
soon
to
as
work
that
the next
happened,
day.
I was pissed. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
Like, all the momentum was on the Niners.
All that just
All that
deflated,
conspiracies are hitting immediately on Twitterverse.
dude. Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
It was
what?
crazy. I was trying to not like blame it on that because we still should have come out with that same gusto, but for whatever reason we didn't.
Nope.
And I think it just burnt it out,
fucking
man.
just stopped us in our tracks.
Dude,
it was
momentum's a thing in
ridiculous.
sports. Like,
It
it's
is,
a
man.
huge thing.
But I don't like to make excuses
Yeah.
overall. But at the same
It-
time, you can't ignore that.
I mean, I'm a man.
I
I
watched
like
it
playing
happen.
sports, dude.
It was
Like, shit
for
gets
20
going.
minutes,
It's just like
man.
a fucking avalanche.
15
you know?
minutes, 20 minutes long. You know,
Yeah.
you're just standing there going, well, now, okay. You know, what the fuck? Now they've equipped lights to, like, turn on super fast.
Yeah.
So you don't have that issue
Well, I mean,
much anymore.
that's going to happen
so.
in anything. I mean, if you
That's just
especially
recently.
physical activity. If you're right in the middle of it and then somebody just tells you to stop, and then you just have to stop, and you're like, okay, go, and you're just like, fuck. All right, like anything you do.
Yeah, pretty much.
The Super Bowl, they got
Talking about
stopped by when the
momentum.
lights went out. And stopping momentum
Well,
and
yeah, that's happened a couple other times when like a fan runs on a field, it fucks up momentum. You know,
Yeah.
and that's what we're
did that
saying.
happen in the national?
That's all we're talking about is that
playoff,
Yeah, it's
college
happened
thing.
multiple
Or no,
yeah,
someone-
it happens. But we're talking
someone
about the Super Bowl where the Niners are playing the Ravens,
I
and
know
then the
what
lights
you're
went
talking
out.
about.
So that's all we're saying.
So in the last
You were busy looking up Super
yeah,
Bowls.
in the last 4 years, the Patriots have been in it 3 times, and even more
Yep.
going back further.
Yeah, so the last
that's-
one was
They
they
weren't
weren't
gonna
in was
make it this
Denver,
year.
Carolina,
Yeah.
and that was Peyton's Super
Chiefs
Bowl.
and Ravens.
New
were
England
too
was in
good.
it 3 out of 4 years.
Yeah.
But then yeah, they were in it the year before that, and then the Broncos again.
Derek, let me ask you. Are you glad you didn't see the Ravens for a second time this season? That they got knocked out before you saw
Valid.
them?
We
Question.
already beat them.
I know. That's what I'm asking. Because
And
it's
where
hard to beat a
defense is
team
better.
twice.
I mean, no, honestly, the Titans were the one team I did not want to play.
Well, yeah.
I was worried about that.
Yeah, not Baltimore.
I would have rather
Why?
played the Ravens than the Titans.
Fair enough. Okay.
Why?
Because the Titans are the type of team that plays a certain style of ball that the Chiefs can get quagmired into losing.
They have one style of ball. It's
And that
give it to
style
Derrick
of-
Henry and let him run it.
They
You
play
have
solid
Ryan
D.
Tannehill as a
Dude,
quarterback.
play action with Ryan Tannehill worked really well.
You're more worried about the way the Titans play than the
Yeah.
Niners.
The teams
No.
that did really well
No,
against
the Ravens.
The Ravens.
The teams that did well against the
No,
Chiefs
I'm
this
asking.
year played like the Titans.
Yeah.
Okay, but
I was
and
asking
the Niners
him-
don't do that.
No.
Titans are like a team that likes to muck up the game, you know? Like they just
It's true.
if you could just drop a
I-
ton of mud on the field,
It's
that's
5
the
yards and a
Titans.
cloud of
Okay,
dust.
explain that though.
They
Explain
just
that.
they just tried. It's
They're
an outside
they'll bleed
zone.
clocks. They play solid defense for the most part.
A lot of play
you know,
action.
They
Run
got
the
some
ball down
guys
your
that can
face.
just break something. They play really good
they
special
waste
teams.
the time.
They've got
They'll
a
fucking
really
call the
tall,
cheap
fast
plays,
receiver
you
that
know,
can get
where
a
they'll call a timeout at a stupid part just to frustrate you at a thing. You know,
they can
like-
get a big play every now and then just enough to
Because
piss you off.
Vrabel's a descendant of Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
But the
That's what
problem
it
with the
is.
Titans the entire time was Ryan Tannehill was their quarterback. And as soon as you
Actually, that was actually
as soon as Ryan Tannehill had to win a game, he couldn't do it.
it was an
because he's Ryan
improvement.
Tannehill.
No, they legitly stopped Derrick Henry. That
Well, yeah, obviously, and they
only
made
ha-
Ryan Tannehill had to beat you,
Did you see
and he
College
couldn't
Game
do
Day
it.
yesterday?
Because
that's-
Ryan Tannehill.
to that point, yeah, it's like they made. I see
They
your
took away
point.
Derrick
All right.
Henry and made it on Ryan Tannehill, and like you have to beat us because we're going to stop Derrick Henry. 'Cause
Yesterday-
that's all you had to
That
do
was
to
a
beat
great
the Titans.
defensive call.
yesterday on ESPN.
Just a lot of people can't because he's a 240-pound beast.
During the College Game Day special, I think it was Jay Bilas. Somebody in the background, when they have all the fans, you know, had up a sign that said, "Derrick Henry only had 69 yards."
But we also shut.
69.
Nice. The neat thing is we shut Dalvin Cook down 9 carries for 19 yards.
Wow, the Chiefs don't run.
We shut down their entire offense.
I know you guys run just to set the pass up. I get it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. You do it just so that handoff doesn't look fake. You know what I mean?
So what's going to
It doesn't
happen
matter
when
if it's
when Patrick
effective.
takes a bad hit
You just
and
make-
he's done?
you just have
He's
to
had
make.
plenty of bad hits. He always gets up.
I know, but what's going to happen when he takes a bad one and he's done?
I don't know, man.
Who's your
he's-
backup?
Moore won some games for us this year. So
I
it's
think
all
we
good.
make Patrick actually run fast for once. Like sometimes
He has
man,
a fat boy run.
We're gonna make him
sometimes,
give a
man,
shit.
He's like that run against Tennessee. That was more of like I'm just running fast
Yeah,
enough to
right.
get by.
It was.
I feel
He was
like
tiptoeing a
we're-
lot and just kind of.
It was fast enough, but it
Yeah.
was more like don't touch. But like I feel like we're gonna actually make
Yeah,
Dude,
Patrick
he got a fucking
run.
touchdown.
We're gonna
I don't
scare
know what
him.
you can bitch about on that run.
We're going to scare
No,
him.
I know because he ran through a lot of bad tackling.
Yeah, there was some bad
He,
tackling.
he's going to have some fear on his face this
That's
week.
what's going to be sweet about this game. Is like we have to. I want to see how the Chiefs respond to tackling
Yes.
because you guys got lucky and the Titans fucking packed it in when they went up
Yeah.
20 points, just like the Texans packed it in when y'all went up 24 points.
Sorry.
What are you talking about? They packed it in. Our team shut those motherfuckers
I think the
down.
Titans
I mean
are
that's also fair. I'm not gonna. Yeah, but still,
I don't know.
for jokes purposes, man, they packed it in, bro. That was.
I
that
think it's
was
going to
some
come down to
terrible
physicality.
defense,
Like
but-
if we can,
Dude, like I
fucking
said,
impose
our
our
team
will.
is a fucking hydra on offense.
Reed
Like,
and
there's
Bryant-
too much to cover.
Reed and Bieniemy
yeah,
have done.
but
a
we only
marvelous
need
job.
pressure with 4 guys. That's it.
We just
and if
have
we
to-
can
We
get
have
that-
a Mahomes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if we sit in a zone,
No
man,
Hulk.
you can't. And the problem is you can't shadow Mahomes
Mahokes.
because he's just gonna no look you. I mean, he's done that fucking sidearm no look shit for
Ever?
This year?
Days.
Oh,
though?
you want one?
once at the beginning of the season. Yes, please.
wild. I mean, 50 touchdowns
still-
last year. Like you can't.
But still, like he's got an arm that's like gonna get him places anytime he wants it to.
Yeah.
And so we just have to be where we
If
need
he's
to
on
be.
his game.
He
If
was
you're-
on pace this year for the first 4 games on a bum ankle that happened on the
Yeah.
first game of the year to break everything he did last year. Do
Yeah.
better in yards and touchdowns.
Yes, I know. He was my fantasy
then he had
quarterback.
his
I'm well
fucking-
aware of his season.
Knee got injured, and he was paying on like 2 bad legs.
Yes, I'm well aware of that.
And then about after his knee came, he missed 2 games and basically effectively missed 3.
I had a
and he
bad
came
run
back
there
on
for a
that
while.
4th game. He did pretty. Actually, I think he threw for damn near 400 yards. And then they weren't bad on offense. They kept winning, which is the big thing. But that's when their defense came out, started getting turnovers and getting touchdowns. So he was getting kept off the field quite a bit. So I think people talk about his mid-season lull. He was out of the game. When he came back, the defense was suddenly doing crazy, and the offense was barely on the field because defense was getting like pick sixes and shit. But it took him like a few games to get over the knee stuff, and he got mobile. And the second he got mobile again, like, it's lights out, man. You can't stop that. When he's healthy and mobile, nobody can stop Mahomes.
What I am worried about is the 49ers defense getting in his face and rattling him up a little bit. Then he's fucked.
It
So
will be
everybody
the
says
first
he never
time.
did.
It'll be the first time that he's seen continuous pressure. Like
Oh,
this.
dude, no, he's
I
been.
think
Look
Mahomes
at
is
the Ravens game last year.
continuous
He got
pressure.
sacked a bunch that game, 6 times, I believe. And you know what? The guy kept getting back up and battling, and we all know what happened at the end of the game.
Mahomes is a stronger arm version of Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And we play him 2 times a year.
Russell's a better
every
deep ball
year.
thrower, but definitely stronger arm.
Actually,
Yeah.
no, that is inaccurate.
Oh, I think
Factually inaccurate from a stat that I saw yesterday.
What was that?
I think when I watch Wilson play, his placement on deep balls is
to me,
Jimmy
amazing.
Garoppolo this year is number 1 at deep ball passing percentage this season. Number 2 is Patrick Mahomes.
You might
Which
look
is another
statistically,
fact-
but I don't
which is
know.
another crazy
When I watch
stat.
the eyeball
The
test,
biggest
I just
thing with
see
Patrick Mahomes-
Wilson's amazing.
Garoppolo has a 58.1% passing percentage on deep throws this year, more than 20 yards.
I would be interested what
Number
the PFF
2
look at would be for catchable balls that guys dropped. For
I don't know
Seahawks or
how you
something.
determine catchable balls.
They actually have a metric for all that shit.
But this year,
Algorithm?
but then number 2 at like 13.2, or I'm sorry, it's not far. It's like 56.7 or some shit like that. It's really close to what Garoppolo's doing, but is Patrick Mahomes.
the biggest
and
thing with
deep ball
like
throws,
Patrick's
so-
arm is most quarterbacks, it's like get him throwing across their body. The biggest thing with Patrick is he can do that. So that takes that out of it. So
It's
it's like
crazy
you want to get
watching
somebody,
him when you flip
and
that hip.
when you're pressuring quarterbacks, you want to get them to go
Across
the
his
opposite
body.
direction of where they can
Yeah.
throw. So you want them to roll left,
But
or
his
right
arm-
handed. So you're trying to throw like this. But Patrick's so strong that he can do that.
Shortstop.
Like,
in high
And he
school.
can make a 60-yard toss off
Yeah.
his back foot
Yeah, it's
to
ridiculous.
a streaking Tyreek Hill,
Yeah.
behind everyone. It's going to be on our safety duo, Jaquaski Tart
Yep.
and
Jimmy Ward.
Jimmy Ward.
I think that's your guys'
They've-
weakness, though.
They've been the best part of our defense all year for
You
the
think
most
so?
part. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When they've been healthy,
I've been reading that they've been getting like poked at quite a bit. in
we
the safety
just
group.
got because Tart's been out for the last 4 weeks with an injury. So
Yeah, we've had a lot of backups.
We haven't had him back since the last game of the season, of the regular season, and he remarkably changes how that defense operates. He's the QB of that defense, hands down. Sherman's great, but Jaquaski Tart knows.
How do you guys feel about your special teams?
Just as good, because they're just good enough. Jimmy Wilson Jr. has actually been really, or
There we
Richie
go.
James, excuse
There's some
me.
good quarterbacks.
No
About
shit.
time.
I think Harvin's
Richie
gonna
James has
do
been
some
really
good stuff on
good,
the
but
special teams,
I
too.
think it's close. I think if we put each special teams up, it's close because both are fucking dangerous. But Kansas City probably has that edge a little
People
bit. in
forget
punt
we have a
return.
rookie. And
They've been getting
people don't
blasted
talk
on the
about it, but it's a
blocking, though.
punter. But our punter's actually a rookie, and you forget that because he's actually really fucking
Not
awesome.
only that,
Biggest
but he's
game
one
of
of
his
those
life, then.
dudes that
See
has
what
like.
happens.
Dude, he's awesome.
Wisniewski is one of those Wisnowski, whatever. He's one of those guys that have, and Sam Cook
Oh, and let's not
from
forget George
Nebraska
Kittle.
is the same dude, right? So that has a quote unquote golf bag of
Fucking
type
right in the
kicks.
middle, pretty much.
So depending on leg adjustment, how they hold the ball, blah blah blah, like they can figure
Favre.
out and
Favre
do
doing
different
here?
Fuck is
things
Brett
to the ball
Favre
while
doing
kicking
here?
it. And Wisnowski
Favre.
has this like ability, and I don't know if that matters because
Drew Brees
Mecole
doing
Hardman's is it Hardman or Hardeman?
Hardman.
Hardman. So like
Yeah,
he's
no, that
really
shit
good.
matters, dude. If
Yeah,
you can put
so-
give people different looks. Who was that guy for the Rams? Then he got injured.
Yeah. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Their punter's really good too. Yeah, he's got a great arm, which is kind of an asset. But no, Wisnowski's like Sam Cook from Nebraska. He just basically has a golf bag of different type of kicks. So I don't know if that
Bledsoe.
helps us, but I think it might maybe. But Hardman's such a dangerous threat. Like maybe it's not. Richie James isn't a
I
slouch
don't think
either.
he'll get a chance to return anything.
I just think maybe Kansas City has that edge a bit.
you got to take that
Me.
away
I
from
bet
him.
you,
You got to
if the
punt
Kansas
everything out
City
of bounds.
needs
You
to-
can't give him a chance to return anything.
If the Kansas City needs to, they'll have Tyreek back there
I
on,
know.
on punts.
That's why you
True.
can't let him return anything.
True.
That's it.
Yeah,
but
hands down. But yeah, I know you guys
Yeah.
will pull out. I mean, it's not expected.
It's the last game of the year. You can't hold anything back now.
But we've got a punter that can
know.
do whatever he wants to do with it. So if you just tell
Fucking
him
love
kick
that
it out of bounds every time, he'll do that. Like he's just so good at that.
And he's accurate enough to pin you guys deep, and that might be a facet that if we get the ball and go 3 and out, then we put you guys back deep, and or vice versa. I mean, but Wisnowski is good enough that he's accurate, an accurate kicker that for whatever fucking reason we draft him, and that's working out too.
Yeah. And Robbie Gold's
No, that's why you draft
coming on now.
That's why you draft a guy, yeah.
Robbie Gold was a little rough to start the season, but there was a whole
Robbie
contract
Gold's
thing,
solid.
and he was out
He
for
was
a while.
kicking half-assed all year because of that
contract thing. He was
Yeah.
pissed about. He had issues, but now he's in the Super Bowl.
Everything's gold.
Now
We
that
signed
things-
him
yeah.
finally halfway through the year when he fucking got hurt, quote unquote.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
injured.
So who has the better kicker?
Harrison Bucker's pretty good. He was
Yeah, I was
He
going to
is.
say that might be a push.
But I think
We
Gold
win the-
has
we win
He's
the-
got the experience.
We win the
has
punting.
experience.
We probably win the punting comparison, but I think kicking
Justin Colquitt's
comparison.
historically one of the best punters in like
Goes
history.
Fava.
Yeah, I know.
His
but-
family's like literally been punting in the NFL since like
I mean,
the 60s.
Well, yeah, his
and
family
that's
isn't
not a
playing.
disservice to him. I just think Wisnowski
It's him.
is
That's
better.
not his family.
The fuck's Brett Favre doing
Oh,
here?
right.
But their kickers are a push. I feel Robbie Gold and Harrison Bucker are two of the top quality
Yeah.
kickers in the NFL. So
Like I said, I
that's
just
a
think
push.
the only
There's
difference
a reason
between
why
them
these teams
is-
are in the NFL or in the Super Bowl.
He's
like,
quick.
You know,
I think the only difference between them is just
Every
experience.
part
That's it.
of each team
Oh.
is fucking
Maybe
adequate
hit the
or
bullseye.
spectacular.
He's off
Like,
target.
and if you're adequate to spectacular, like
Butker's got a bigger arm, or
I
a
think
bigger
the Chiefs
leg.
D,
I
people
think
are
he can
still
go
knocking
deeper,
them,
but
and they're thinking about last year. Totally different defense, and we're peaking at the right time.
yeah.
I
that-
still don't
that's
trust
us
them 100%.
too. So
I still don't trust them 100%, but
that's the
Frank Clark
That's
and
the
Matthew,
difference.
those guys are such game.
dude, you have to feel
wreckers.
good. You guys just squashed the best runner.
we
in
have
the NFL,
100%
hands
faith in our
You guys
defense.
run a
So, I
totally
mean-
different offense, though. You know,
down.
like,
You guys stopped the
stuff you
best
do on the
running back in
offensive
NFL,
line, and with
so.
Kittle is so flexible. You know, you can flash the run with Kittle, and then he breaks out for something. That I think that's where Matthews
Dude,
going to
how
be.
awesome
big
is that
time.
going to be? Watching the
Matthews gotta be on
two
his game.
best tight
and
ends.
Dirty Dan Sorensen.
Yeah, your linebackers are going to be tasked much like ours are, but the fact that we have that added, like fake, I'm going to block, then break out and
coach-
catch the
Chiefs do
ball.
the same though. It's like it's
Yeah.
so weird trying to match these teams up against each other.
because they
How
do
have we not
everything.
talked about
Each does
Kittle and
everything
Kelsey
so
this
well.
weekend? Like,
Oh yeah,
how
Kelsey's-
awesome is that going to be?
I think
Like,
Kittle's the best all-around tight end in the NFL right now, but I think as far as pass
Well, just the
catching,
fuck's
he
this
holds
guy?
nothing to
He
fucking
is the
Kelsey.
best pass
Neil
catching
O'Donnell.
tight end.
But just
No
the
way.
just the sound bites that's going to happen between Kittle and Kelsey. Like,
They're both
both-
personalities.
they're-
That's
yeah,
the
They're
it's gonna be
both the
awesome.
best.
They're like-
Hopefully they're
both
mic'd
the
up for
best
the game.
personalities.
it's just going to be so much fun to watch. Like, I
They're
could just
both
see
the
them
more-
just being
the-
goofy
yeah.
as shit.
Like
It's gonna
they're
be great.
lined up on each other.
No,
Well, no,
they're
but
both
they're,
tight
They're
ends.
both tight
they're,
ends.
they're,
That's why
and they're
both tight
almost
ends. They're
they're like
both-
mirror images of each other. Like
They
both
gravitate
are
to
awesome.
each other. Yeah,
Have-
or
have-
gravitate to
They're
their
goofy
teammates.
personalities.
Have
They're-
either teams put one of them on defense?
No,
No.
I love
We
that.
haven't
though.
gone that
when
New England
like you know
Patriot
an
way.
offensive player is all of a sudden on defense or
Yeah,
whatever.
we-
They
Or-
have
or
put Kelsey in the
defensive
end
player.
zone a lot. So
Do either teams do that though? Take a defensive player and put him on offense every once in a
oh
while.
yeah, you
If
get
the
defensive
Chiefs did, they-
tackles often.
The Chiefs would probably put fucking Tyrann Matthew in there if they did anything.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I
no.
don't think we've really
Tyrann
done
Matthew
anything
leads
like
the
that.
NFL in almost interceptions.
Almost, man. Almost interceptions. It's because he's there. He's always where he needs to be, and that's a part of the Chiefs' defense.
That's
You
why
always
he's the
gotta
honey
watch out.
badger.
Yeah,
This year he's got a new nickname. He's the landlord, and he's here to collect rent.
that's funny.
Honey badger was better.
I'll stick with the honey badger.
He was
Thanks.
the honey badger in college. He'll always
Kansas
be the honey
City's
badger.
not known for their creativity.
Oh man, he's been
Just
doing this whole
just
landlord
barbecue.
thing on Twitter for
Really?
all year.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's him. All right.
That's
I mean,
all right.
he
Still honey
hasn't
badger.
sucked. I mean,
he's
ain't
one of
no lie.
dude. He was all pro.
Yeah.
He was all pro first and second team.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's the man.
Two
right
different
there.
positions.
That's your guy.
Oh yeah, that's our
That
guy.
dude's
This is
a stud,
95, isn't it?
97. I believe.
Okay.
He's gonna fumble the ball.
The
on
first
it.
guy on there was a quarterback who's in the Hall of Fame, but wouldn't be if he didn't play for the team he played for.
What?
He was at one time.
Troy Aikman.
He was the best.
He's a mediocre quarterback who played for the Cowboys
He
and won a
probably
bunch
did
of
the
Super
best
Bowls.
from what I've seen.
He
Steve
was.
Young was the best.
Steve Young is a stud, dude.
Fuck.
He's the
People
best,
have
best
said Steve
backup
Young would have been a
quarterback.
Pro Bowl running back.
Oh, dude, he was.
And let's not forget all the years he missed from the USFL and sitting behind Joe Montana.
What,
Right.
what was,
Still made the Hall of Fame.
What was
Didn't start his
Aikman's
career
time?
till like 5
Do you
years into
remember?
it.
I don't know. It was pretty
He
good.
was
though.
making it so hard for them to play Joe Montana
just showed the
because of
list.
how good he
Speaking
was.
of studs, and
That's a
Tecmo
fun thing
Bowl,
about the Niners and Chiefs, though. It's
Steve
not
Young
just
was a
like
stud in
the-
Tecmo Bowl.
what we're going to look at schematically.
Gotta go back.
But the history of trades between the two teams.
Yeah, that's a fun time.
Aikman's not even
Had
up there.
so many quarterbacks from the Niners.
And
he was like a running,
players in
scrambling
general.
quarterback before
Yeah.
they were
Fair.
like.
Oh,
I mean,
we've
we've
had some,
we've made
even
some
his
really
bullshit
good
trades,
deals.
5th and 6th guys.
I guess random.
We've made some really good deals between each other. You guys got Joe Montana. You got Elvis
What's going on?
Gerback. We got D Ford.
We had Alex Smith.
Yeah,
We had
Alex
that
Smith,
wide
that's
receiver
right. Yeah.
trade thing with Swap we did with
Yep.
Baldwin, I think was his name,
Yep.
that we sent to you guys.
You got those
We've
two
had
awesome
just-
years out of Joe.
You know, at that time I was excited for Kansas City fans
I
because
was
they
so
hadn't
pissed.
had anything exciting in a while because they were missing that part of their team, and then all of a sudden Joe Montana just
I
like
was so
completed
mad.
it.
It just did not look right.
So
But it made
Side-
KC complete, and I feel like they kind of
Yeah, but I didn't give a shit about KC.
side
one of
question
those
though,
years.
right now,
They were the winningest team in the 90s regular season.
Yeah.
and on that point, if they were the most winningest team, why the fuck haven't they been to the Super Bowl in 50 years?
Do we have a
Because-
heartbreak hotel of playoff stories?
That
And this is going to be another one.
How does that happen though? How do you not make it in 50 years if you're the most winning team?
In the 90s.
That doesn't matter.
the
though.
winningest regular season
Did you
team.
win a Super Bowl?
Right,
no.
correct.
Yeah,
it's because they didn't win when it mattered.
Yeah.
They
Pretty much.
won
When people
they
gave a
won
shit, then
the
you can't
games
claim
they should
wins.
have. But
We,
You know?
So we played Marty Ball in the 90s, and Marty Schottenheimer
No,
was the coach.
he
why
just has
Marty
to-
got fired.
he has to
even
put
though
in the
was a
term regular
successful
season.
coach.
And everywhere he went.
Asterisk.
Yeah.
Successful coach Marty Schottenheimer, but he got to playoffs. He outcoached himself.
He never let his quarterbacks do what they do.
Correct.
And that's
Just-
why Tom
I'm gonna
Brady
run the
took
ball,
his
run
job.
the
And
ball,
do
run
what
the
they
ball.
got. Do
Dude,
what you've got.
He cost us, I think, a
Oh, he
Super
nailed that
Bowl by
last one.
sitting
That was
Rich
a good one.
Gannon to put in Gerbach.
Yep.
What was that, 98?
Yeah.
Before Gerbach
Yeah,
went to
to
the
be
fucking
fair.
Raiders, won MVP.
Yep.
Brady took his job because he got hurt, but
Yeah, man. I agree.
fucking Jeff Blake. Holy shit.
They
Alright.
they had so many opportunities. Kansas City did. Yeah.
All right. So this is the moment. Any last fucking? Okay, first, I guess we have to decide: is anyone willing to put
Did you ever give your prediction?
money a bet? Yeah, I think Kansas City is going to win.
Yeah,
Oh.
he said them.
Okay.
But who is like that confident in the game plan that when it happens next week is going to be like, "Yep, I called it." What are we betting? What are we doing?
That's
It's
crazy
like,
hard.
We got to put something on this, right?
Crazy hard.
Who thinks they're
This is
fucking
just going to
on
come
it?
down to homerism, man, because ultimately you can't be wrong. Both
Someone's-
coaching staffs are so good.
Someone has
Both
betted
offensive
right now.
coaching staffs are so
Oh,
good.
Tony's just like fucking showing us the money.
Chiefs,
But
$20.
I mean, I'm
We could
I'm
put a
gonna
pool
homer.
in.
I'm gonna homer pick because Kyle Shanahan has done so well. I mean, and it's not a disservice to
Not
Bieniemy and Reed,
stoppable.
but
Are we just calling winner? Or are we
Man.
I don't
calling-
know. I don't know.
Are we calling whoever gets the closest prediction right? Or are we just calling pick a winner?
Well, we all set our scores.
Yeah.
yeah,
Whoever's ever the closest to the score,
yeah.
but it could be like, ooh, who's over, who's under.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
need to decide.
I don't know. I had 27-24 Niners, so
Come
So
on,
we can-
Favo.
you just want to do it? I don't know. Closest prediction?
28-24, Kansas City.
Well,
Man.
you've got everything on record, so you can.
So
always,
what? Everyone throws in $20.
I suppose. What the deuce was that?
I'll throw in $20.
Fucking
Chiefs.
That's what happens
the
when you let
pile of
Chase
shit
have things.
microphone.
Sorry.
Yeah,
just-
I'll donate. Why not?
And
Why
closest.
not?
Are we being real about this? $20
Mine's right
for
there.
it?
If we want to, I'm just trying to figure out what are we calling it. Closest to the prediction.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to say you guys all been talking your team up.
I'll put my,
But,
I'll
like,
put
are
money
we all-
down. I don't care.
you're all willing?
I'm confident.
Okay. I mean that. There's
I'm more
speculating.
confident in my team than my score
So,
prediction.
Derek,
but
you haven't
Man,
said
if our
anything like
defense
that.
said I
hadn't
threw
come all
down
back
20.
like half like what it has right now,
Okay.
I would not be as confident.
no.
Chase,
I just
Yo.
want to point that out. Like,
Do you
if we were
consent?
still injured.
Just
Ooh, that was a good throw.
as long as everybody's there,
And
we're
this-
gonna shut people down.
this is a bet that you can't,
at least slow them down.
you
Yeah,
know,
If
not.
You can't shut that offense
Yeah.
down, but we can slow
if
it
we
down.
can control it.
What? What are we betting?
Are you
That's the best part is the running game slows the game down.
Yeah.
closest prediction?
Putting $20
Oh.
on closest prediction.
And you
Hey,
have
you
to
get-
pay.
I just want to say this. Did you watch the New York Giants New England
Yeah.
Super Bowl
Mhm.
where Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs just pretty much ran the ball for like
Oh, here's Aikman.
89
Watch him.
minutes?
He's
Yeah.
good.
He's mediocre.
That's kind of how I expect everything to go.
No.
Is Kyle's just going to go into a shell and we're just going to
Yeah.
run it 80% of the time again.
Yeah, if the
Because
wear
game
'em down.
dictates it, he won't.
Because how
come on.
potent of
If
an
you guys are
offense
running
New
that
England
much,
was
you have
and
a
how
lead.
The only way to slow that
KC
offense down is to
like,
not
you
let you
to
have
do-
it.
Oh.
You almost have to do something like that because
If
you
you can't,
guys,
if you
guys
can't
are
use your
so
offense,
fast.
then that's the only way to slow you down.
If
so we
you
just
guys
have
are
to
running that
wear you guys
much,
down.
you're winning the game.
And that's actually probably a fair point. Yeah, if it's reached a point where we're running that much, yeah. And
That was horrible, Troy.
And that's the
yeah.
idea. That's why I'm
and
calling
that's what
it that way.
and that's what New York did. Like Eli
Shanahan's
gets
not
credit
that
for,
stubborn. I mean, he ran the fucking Falcons.
Yeah, offense.
Yeah.
He's not the guy on the
He didn't give up the 25
CEO
points.
controls now. He is now, and I feel like that's a big difference. A lot of people have brought that up actually. That 25 point like.
Oh, I'm not saying he's going
change.
to blow a lead or anything, but
Right.
His offense didn't give up those
You
points.
bet that thing doesn't haunt him till this day. And he didn't have control of the defense. I mean,
there's actually a prop bet out there
his
about
job did what it was supposed to do, and that was race out to a goddamn lead and hold the Patriots down the rest of the game. What happened was the defense stopped controlling the Patriots.
They let them come back.
And then, boop, granted, yes, Atlanta could have still kept scoring, but they're leaning on the defense to make stops, and they weren't making stops, and that was their fault.
Nope, nobody
So,
blames their defense. All they
I
blame
don't-
is
I-
Kyle
and I-
Shanahan's offense.
I think that haunts and fucking chaps his hide still to this day
Yep.
that he didn't have control of stopping that. So and
But
that
have you
might
s-
affect how he calls this game.
Have you seen that out there? There's a
Oh, yeah,
prop
you're
bet that Kyle Shanahan blows a 28-3 lead.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
know.
it's not a
That could pay out.
it'll pay out a bunch. It'll pay out a bunch because
Oh,
the
man.
odds of it happening are
Yeah.
very
No,
slim.
but if you wanted like big money,
oh yeah, I know there's people betting on it, but it just
if that's a real bet they have,
That's a prop
that's
bet.
got to be the first time that bet has ever been as low a percentage as it is right now.
you can go across the river and find out.
You got a team that's already coming over 24-point deficit, and then a guy that has already blown 25.
25, 28-3. But yeah, there's a prop bet out there that's he'll blow it. The Niners will be up 28-3 and they'll
It's
lose.
fucking awesome.
It'll be because of a D Ford offsides.
Side note,
Dude,
I
that's
always
got to be an even better fucking bet. Like that's.
Oh,
gotta
I'm
be-
sure D Ford bet. Does he go offsides?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But if
How
you
many
in the final
offside?
2 minutes.
You add that on top of the 28-3, and
Yeah.
they'll lose it because of a D Ford offsides. It'd be like, damn.
damn it. That'll be it though. God damn it.
That's
That's what
something
we
you should look
inherited,
up.
though.
Is look at all the crazy bets you can take.
We wanted all the sacks, but you get the offsides at
Crazy prop
the
bets.
inopportune times from D Ford.
Yeah, I want to see all these crazy bets.
Dude, it was like skills competitions from the 90s. You can watch those anytime you want, man. Don't get mad. He was like, what the?
He was so
Sorry.
happy to
and
see.
he's all. So
Fucking Mark
everyone
Brunell
knows.
was out there.
All
While
those guys are retired.
while we've been discussing the Super Bowl for the last half an hour,
No
Chase
shit.
has been watching the fucking 90s yeah, skills
1996
quarterbacks.
96 Pro Bowl skills competition.
Go Aikman.
All right, prop bets.
And Mark Brunell, Steve Young.
Then we all get to like make our call on these bets or whatever.
Uh-oh. I'll take your last bet, Tyre.
No, the last two stay. I'm not going to take those with me.
All right, I'll take it.
William Hill is offering 99,000 to 1 odds on the Chiefs scoring exactly 4 points. No
not
team in
happening.
the Super Bowl era has ever finished with exactly 4 points.
Our defense is good, but hella not that
Yeah, it's
good.
like those top three aren't that.
And
big.
here it is. Shanahan is 100 to 1 to blow another 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl.
That's also probably not happening.
Because he was the offensive coordinator
Yeah.
of the Falcons.
I'm serious. It's gonna be like that shit's gonna be 7-7 or 0-0
You
going
can
into the
bet
second
whether
quarter.
LeBron James will score more points against the Kings on February 1st, and Mahomes will have completions in the Super Bowl. He's favored by 1.5 completions.
Jesus, dude, he gets his.
That's it. That was like 2 of them.
Well, that was one article.
Check out these bizarre Super Bowl prop bets.
There's 3 of them. Enjoy. It's like the same fucking article.
Yeah.
Look up something along the lines of like Vegas Super Bowl bets.
Vegas. Oh, people bet on the coin toss.
Oh yeah. You can bet on just about anything. That's why they're called, like, the prop bets are interesting.
Well, they'll
'cause
do
it's
stuff
weird
like
shit.
for accidents, like will somebody drop the flag, you know, something like that.
Oh, I'm sure they have like prop bets like will a light go out again? Like, anything that's ever happened or anybody can think of possibly happening, they'll bet on.
Will a
Like,
fan run on the field?
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's in there. Yeah, coin
Will the
tosses.
Chiefs win? Yes.
Yeah, they bet on like whether somebody will fuck up the national anthem. Like, will the national anthem? Will they forget the words or like you can? Yeah.
I'm looking for KC stats too.
Oh, here's some funny ones you can bet on. Total number of Donald Trump tweets.
Wow, there you go.
During the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Probably 11.
Will a player leave the game and not return due to concussion?
Ooh.
Yes.
We're targeting.
Wow.
Will any scoring drive take less time than it takes Gladys Knight to sing the national anthem?
Yes.
Was Gladys
Dude,
Knight singing it?
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Man, it's gonna fucking be sweet.
I fucking love Gladys Knight.
Man.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I remember,
I did not know that.
Oh, who's halftime?
Oh, that's the halftime. Is the
fucking
Shakira?
Shakira and Beyonce?
Is it
Shakira.
Beyonce? I don't know.
She's
Somebody else that's I don't know.
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Shakira
J-Lo.
and J-Lo
Yeah.
are halftime.
All right.
Who do you think's gonna surprise pop in?
No, I don't fucking care. Probably
Janet Jackson's
Probably
titty.
Pitbull.
Pitbull.
always
Justin
seems to
Timberlake.
sneak in somewhere.
Timberlake.
You think they're gonna bring in
Timberlake
everybody
should.
else
He's
that was
best
in the movie
entertainer,
Hustlers?
In my opinion.
Yeah, he is America's best entertainer.
They
Dude,
just
hands
always
down. That
pop
bro is so
people
good.
in there.
Yeah, they'll bring in
Totally
the entire
agree.
cast of
I've been saying
Hustlers.
that
I'm
for a
telling
Or
you.
no, what?
That's that
Dude,
movie that
during
J Lo
your
was
fucking
just in.
bachelor party, like we were playing that on the screen, like as like we were about to do like stuff at your place. I don't want to divulge too much, but like in the lead up to what was about to go down that Saturday night, like we had JT's like HBO fucking concert series going on the TV, and while I should be getting excited about what's about to take place, I am kicking it on the couch watching JT do his thing, lead up, and then into the show. It was fantastic, man. It made me.
I was asleep at that time, if you recall.
No, you were.
When I got woken up and I was like, "Oh, is the vacation over?" Like, no, Derek, it's 2 hours later. It's nighttime.
We're still in the same day.
What did I say about butt cleavage?
Butt cleavage. There's a bet that she won't show butt cleavage during her halftime
I mean,
show.
Oh,
J Lo
she
has to
definitely will.
have cleavage.
Yeah, she's gonna show butt cleavage.
Butt
That's what
cleavage?
she does. Yeah.
No, regular cleavage.
Shakira
of course.
also, dude. Both of them got the nice Latina
That's
butt.
fair. She's married.
Will
to
MC
yeah.
Hammer say too legit in a Cheetos commercial?
I hope so.
Well, yeah, if you have MC Hammer in there, of course he is.
Will they be caught lip syncing?
Fucking A, right, man.
Go ahead.
Which
Dude, you're
company
on a time
airs?
schedule during that? You
How
are
many times
lip
did Alex
syncing.
Rodriguez be shown during that halftime show? I'd say twice.
Which company airs the first commercial after the coin toss?
After the
Allstate.
coin toss?
Pepsi.
Oh, it's fucking
Allstate.
State Farm. It's fucking State Farm.
State
and Patrick
Farm.
Mahomes.
Insurance in this corner.
It'll be State Farm.
It is an insurance company, and it is State Farm with fucking Patrick Mahomes, and it'll be a new one. It'll be a
Oh,
brand
yeah,
new
no, that's
one
true. I
with
forgot.
Mahomes
Patrick Mahomes is part of that.
and
Rodgers.
Yeah, it'll be Aaron and Patrick,
And Russell
It'll be
Wilson
brand
joins
new.
them.
Yeah, it'll be-
Fucking
they'll
A,
have,
Oh
like-
my god.
They'll bring in somebody else.
No, it'll be Lamar.
Oh man, don't you think that'd be crazy? But yeah, State Farm because they've been fucking banking. it on
Lamar
commercials.
Mahomes square off.
Them and Geico. State Farm and Geico have been like the hands down best PR firms in all of the corporate insurance land.
Hey, go down.
They've
Is there
been
more?
killing it. That fucking
no.
fake ass
Yeah,
agent that represents Aaron Rodgers, and he's all like super mad, like you could have more than one agent. Aaron, why are you so dumb to employ such a dumb motherfucker? Oh, it's a commercial, right? Suspend your disbelief.
All right.
It's fun.
Here's another
Fell
one.
bets.
How many times will Giselle Bundchen be
Oh,
shown
God.
on TV during the live broadcast?
At least twice.
Was Tom Brady with her?
Tom Brady and Giselle. Oh, Tom.
They're not gonna be at the
Tom
Super
and
You think
Bowl.
Tom will be with her?
I think so.
They're
Well,
not
I think
gonna
they're
be at
going
the-
to the Super Bowl together.
They're
Yeah,
not
because
going to the Super
Giselle's
Bowl.
not going by herself. I don't think Giselle's there without Tom.
Why would either one of them be there?
Just because they can. They have the money
They don't
to do
give
so.
a shit about the Super Bowl.
Probably not.
What if she's there without Tom? What's the bets on that?
Tom's not going to be there to
It's
support
gotta be
one of his
outrageous.
teammates. He's not going to be there to
What if
fucking...
Mahomes wins the Super Bowl and walks out the field with her?
Tom will be there in support of Jimmy Garoppolo, man.
No, he won't.
I feel like
Tom don't give a shit about nobody but
Dude,
himself.
Tom will be there in support of Jimmy
Tom
G.
don't give a
Here's a
shit
good
about
one.
nothing
They
but
used
Tom.
to be
He's at home
teammates.
trying to figure out where he's going to play next year.
Jimmy G
He's
was
going
the
to decide if he's
best
going to sign with
teammate.
Indianapolis.
Jimmy G was the best teammate to Tom Brady that
Sure,
Tom
but
Brady's
he don't
ever
give a
had.
shit.
Tom Brady has never
fracture
had
the
a.
Niners fan.
He's not going to be there to support Garoppolo.
I think he does. Yeah, and it's Tom Brady that breaks us apart. Isn't that insane?
yeah.
Fuck Tom Brady. I'm glad he blew his fucking knee out. I'm glad he lost the fucking season. Fuck that
Hey,
guy.
the
He'll
Chiefs are
never
the
be
ones
Joe
that blew his
Montana.
knee out,
Oh
Fuck
man,
and they blew out Garoppolo's
Yes,
God
knee.
damn
I
it.
do love the Chiefs for that. They did blow out fucking Tom Brady's knee.
They did.
Just
That was the
destroyed
game. We were having a tough
Bernard
time.
Pollard, first
Yeah.
quarter. I think first drive of the season.
Yep.
Dude, that was the year me and my cousin did.
I
a
almost
fantasy
went
team.
to that game with Barney.
No shit.
Yeah, we were gonna go to that game.
He named his
called us
team
before.
Pee on Tom Brady, and then he gets his fucking.
I'm glad we
It was
didn't go.
awesome.
I'd have been disappointed that whole fucking time, man. Once G went down.
Oh, that game. I think you were talking about with
Yeah.
Brady back like
That's
No,
100% right
no,
there.
me and Barney were gonna go to the 49er Chiefs
yes?
game.
Yeah, that's 100%.
And then Jimmy G got hurt, and I'm like, well, I'm glad
think
we didn't
that
go.
was the first game I watched when I got back from Europe on my honeymoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to get everyone's opinion on this one.
100%.
Will a Trump Super Bowl tweet have a typo in it?
Oh,
Yes.
I don't think this one will.
You don't
But
have-
they
you-
typically do.
You don't have to even put the word Super Bowl in it. I mean, that's just it's
They'll
gonna
probably
happen.
spell Super Bowl with like BOLE or
Oh
something.
yeah,
BW. It'll be BWOL.
BWEL.
BWOL. Bwall. Hashtag Super Bwall. Jesus.
It's a joke in the administration.
Will Trump pardon a turkey? I don't
Go
care.
for it.
That's not Super Bowl related.
Yeah, these
What do you
these
think
aren't
is going
Super
to be
Bowl
like
bets.
the most, fucking
Who commit?
obnoxious commercial?
I'll keep it football related. Who commits the first turnover?
Garoppolo.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to commit the first turnover. I think we're going to cause the first turnover against the Chiefs. It won't be.
the
It won't be
only
their
one.
fault. It'll be us disrupting something.
Wait, is this
That's the
53
difference.
or 54?
50.
Look at the naked guy in them.
53. It's 53.
It is 53 this year. So will there be any sort of streaker?
I don't
or-
think so.
No, they have too much security for that nowadays.
Really?
It still
Dude,
happens
I
every
was
now and
at
then, but I don't see it
a
happening.
College World Series matchup like 10 years ago.
Trump tweeting
there was
what?
a streaker never
George
made
Carlin's
TV.
730 words.
I doubt that.
Yeah, probably not. You never know.
It's 54. I'm sorry.
What
All
the
right.
fuck? Yeah, that's not Super Bowl bets. I don't know
Here's
what's
one
going
of
on
the.
here.
This is a multifaceted bet you can make right now. What will the broadcaster props say? And then there's a bunch you can pick from. Will they say underdog? Will somebody say odds? Somebody say point spread, or GOAT, greatest of all time,
Of course,
or
spread.
dynasty?
Of course, they'll say point spread. They're gonna bring that up.
They'll probably sideshow
I don't.
Joe Montana and Tom Brady at one point because I think Tom will be there. That's
Jesus.
hilarious. There's a dildo on the field.
That's a Bills fucking Patriots game. That's what
Oh my god, that's right because the Bills
the Bills
were
throw
doing
dildos
that.
in the.
That's
yeah,
right.
the last 3 years. Or
Bills
something.
Mafia throw a dildo on the field.
They've done it multiple years now. Every game at home in
Sometimes
Buffalo,
with Brady's
when the
name on
Patriots
them.
play them, they throw dildos in the field.
That is a great looking dildo. Can I just say?
Look at the face on
smile, Yeah.
Looks like a SpongeBob
Googly
character.
eyes.
SpongeBob guy.
Do you think somebody carved that in there, or they bought it that way?
I would hope that's molded. Someone's dick actually looks like that.
Somebody cast a dick with a googly eye face.
Why does it looks a lot less like a dick and balls as opposed to like a dick coming out of a mouth?
There's a face on it.
Like those don't look like balls. That looks like a mouth and a
Derek.
dick coming out of it.
A lot of fat around them nuts.
Like what the fuck? Who designed that?
How many yard?
I'm looking past the weird face on it.
He's looking at the shaft and the balls.
Just like what the fuck?
How many yards Tyreek Hill get?
All-purpose yards?
No, receiving, because I think that'll be where it's at.
I think he'll be under 70, but I think he'll have a touchdown.
I think they'll put him in on kick returns because they're going to need to.
Punt returns.
I
likely.
wouldn't be surprised if
returns.
Kelsey's also held to like less than 100, like maybe around 80. But look for, I think Mecole's going to make some spot plays, whether
Sammy
special
Watts,
teams
Watkins.
and then Watkins and Darrell Williams.
I'm thinking.
I think Darrell Williams is going to have like 90 yards receiving and a couple touchdowns.
I'm almost of the mindset that because we try so hard to stop Tyreek Hill and we shade Kelsey at the same time, that fucking Sammy Watkins gets his.
He's been lining it up in the playoffs this year and last year.
I don't know.
Both games I went to, he did really well in. All right, here's another bet you can make.
How
What
did he do
color
really
is
well?
the
He had a
Gatorade that gets dumped
touchdown
on the
as-
winning coach?
He had
No,
like
it's
touchdowns
red.
the first
I think
game,
it's
and they
red.
didn't score again until the playoffs. How did he do really well?
You guys want to hear the odds?
Sammy Watkins is a non-factor.
Odds of what?
Odds of color of Gatorade dumped on the winning head coach's head.
It'd be red.
Yellow.
We've had 2 reds.
Gallons?
It's 49ers and Chiefs.
No,
There's going to be
color.
fucking red everywhere. You don't think Gatorade's going to
Green.
put red Gatorade in the fucking...
At
Red.
least the one designated.
Yeah, the
for
one that gets
coach.
dumped.
I
It's gonna
can't
be
guess
red.
because I already see the list of the odds. But
Lemon lime.
Probably like someone exactly hired to make sure that cooler is dumped on the coach.
red is not that good of odds.
Lemon lime.
Well,
Orange.
that means I'm going to make a
It's
shit
number
ton of
one.
money.
Lemon
'Cause that's the worst flavor.
Wait, orange limeade or
Orange is plus 125
Tang.
betting odds.
Nope, got my money on
Clear
red.
or water at 300. And then yellow at 300.
I like clear.
Red's at
To
600.
be fair, but
Yellow.
red
I'm
is
a-
enticing.
I prefer ice.
Yellow.
I'm sure it's just straight water, but fucking the red is enticing because both teams are red.
stains.
You know what I mean? I know, but both teams are red, so it shouldn't matter.
Do they still do the I'm going to Disneyland or whatever? I'm going
Yeah,
to Disney World?
every starting quarterback that wins does.
Yeah,
that.
do they still do that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Fuck
They do.
that.
You think Mahomes will?
No, because you have to win.
Will Mahomes what? Be the one holding the Gatorade?
Saying
Cool.
I'm going to
No, because
Disneyland.
the next commercial is going
The
to be
winning
I'm going to
quarterback
Disney
always
World,
is,
baby. Because that's Jimmy Garoppolo's thing now.
What
He calls
kind of-
everything-
going to Disneyland, guys!
No, baby. Everything's baby.
Kermit Frog-
Feels great,
Kermit the
baby.
Frog?
Everything's baby with Jimmy G now.
It's true.
What about?
So that's the next commercial. I'm going to Disney World, baby. I
What
can see it
about-
right now. It's going to happen.
do you think there's going to be any? What kind of crazy Budweiser commercial is there going to be?
At least 4. There'll be 4 different ones.
I'm always so disappointed in the
Boobs.
commercials.
Budweiser's letting me down lately.
I stopped giving a shit about the commercials anymore. It's horrible.
So yeah, since week 13, y'all have stopped people for 4.3 yards per rush. Prior to that, it was 5.6.
Yeah, 4.3 is not good either.
Yeah.
We'll
It's-
take 4.3 every rush. Thank
I
you.
mean,
Here's a bet you can
That's-
make, and I don't know how it's going to
That's
work.
a first down every 3
Pat
plays.
has 13 deep passes for a touchdown, most in the NFL.
Pat always
that's-
goes deep.
That's a first down every 3 plays. So yes, we'll take 4.3 yards per carry. No
All right.
problem. And we'll run it 80 times.
You guys can maybe help explain how this might happen. Maybe it's through Twitter. How many plays will Tony Romo correctly predict ahead of the play?
Oh, Mike Brown. How you doing,
Yeah,
buddy?
Mike, baby.
Mike Brown had a knack for fucking ending games with interceptions or fumble
Ooh,
recoveries.
fuck.
To answer that question, can you ask it again?
How many plays will Tony Romo correctly predict ahead of the play?
Oh man, probably
shit.
like 6.
But he's not in the broadcast.
It'll be like
He's in Fox.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that's what
done
I was
that.
asking. Who's going? to
Actually, you know what, man?
it'd be only like
It's
2 or
Troy
3.
It
Aikman
might only
and
be 2 or 3 now because
Trey
they've asked him
Aikman?
to
Troy
dial that
Aikman,
back a little
and I
bit.
think
They've told him like,
Buck,
hey,
You're making everybody look bad. Stop it.
You're a little too accurate for everyone's taste. Could you dial that back? Yeah,
yeah,
thanks.
stop.
For
Stop.
Romo?
Predict. Yeah,
Yeah.
he predicts plays.
Romo
It's
was
crazy.
hey,
with
there's my favorite athlete
Yeah,
of all
baby.
time, Jerry Rice, next to Leo Messi.
the only undisputed GOAT in football. Oof. No,
it's amazing
No
what he
receiver.
did at wide receiver position, considering the era he played in. too.
It's
right.
there's no. That's the only position where there's no comparison. Like there's no argument of who's better.
That's like Kobe Michael.
There's other
worth
guys that could have
ethic,
been
though.
better, but they never stuck it out. They never.
Not a supreme athlete. Like
Yeah,
I would
'cause
almost
Jerry
say
is
like
ridiculous.
Moss
he was
could have been.
Randy
He
Moss
could
was
have been.
probably
There's
the
a lot of
best.
guys that could have been.
You could
Calvin
make an
Johnson could
argument.
have been. Julio Jones could be.
Jerry Rice is the greatest
But they won't ever
statistical
do
receiver of all time, but Randy Moss is probably the best receiver of all time.
Oh shit.
That's my.
Oh, yeah,
kind
no,
of
he-
take
like
on
I said,
it.
Ross,
he
the height
could
of
have
his
been-
powers was amazing.
He could have
but
had every record that Jerry owns. He could have
You
had
see that?
every
Oh, yeah.
single one of them.
Oh yeah,
Jerry
But-
was hungry though.
Jerry was just more.
He wasn't
hungry
that great
and
of a
more
football
durable.
player.
And he was more durable. He didn't get hurt till the
Yeah.
later stages of his career when
Yeah,
he
when
got
he's,
that
like,
knee
playing
injury.
All
over
Jerry
40.
wanted to do was be the best and win.
Correct.
That was it.
And he was never. The
That's what
biggest
drove
athlete.
him every single day was to be the best and win.
Randy, however,
Randy
was
wanted
the
money,
best
he was a
athlete
diva,
of
he
the
wanted to-
bunch
yeah.
and ran the best routes. But I mean, he had his troubles, and if he doesn't be himself,
Oh, Randy
I mean,
could have destroyed
he
every record.
Destroyed
that he
every
had.
record that Jerry Rice holds
Yeah.
today.
But
And
he
you could
just-
say the same thing if
there's a number of them. T.O. could have been the best.
Trout.
He could have had the best numbers if
what's,
he wasn't.
What's
a bitch.
that?
Like,
Megatron
I hate to
from
say it, but
Detroit.
Calvin
Would have
Johnson.
been
That's what I'm
another
saying.
one,
Like
yeah.
he could be. He could have every
with a
record.
better quarterback.
That dude was a freak of nature. He was
Yeah.
6'5", 230
good
pounds.
quarterback.
He eventually was, but it took a couple seasons.
Well, he got injured a lot.
But
When
he's
Jerry was drafted, Joe Montana was already a pretty well seasoned quarterback,
And
so he was just an
Calvin
addition
Johnson's one of those
to-
guys you don't necessarily need a good quarterback.
Well, Young
Yeah.
came
Just
over-
throw it near him.
Well, and then Young after that,
Came over
and
to
Young
the Buccaneers.
and the Young Rice tandem is actually more prolific than the Montana Rice
Because
But
they
the
spent
fact
more years
that-
together.
Correct, but the fact that Montana Rice was so prolific as soon as it happened because
And they won more Super Bowls together.
Montana had already taken his lumps by the time Rice came aboard, so he was like a welcome addition. So
He was
that's how you
He was
you
out.
break.
He was kind of the young
records
guy
like that.
in that dynasty.
Yeah.
Most
So-
of those guys had been there for a while. Lott and all those guys. Haley. I mean, most of those guys had been there for a while. Rice was kind of young when that shit started, so that's why he was at the, not the
Through
tail
the
end of
90s,
it, but
pretty much.
because
Yeah.
he came in through it, but he was there.
He ended up being the franchise player after
Yeah.
they finally got rid of
Offsides.
Montana.
Yeah.
John Taylor was a nice little Scottie Pippen to
Dude, Brent Jones,
Jerry Rice's
Roger Craig.
Michael Jordan.
JJ
There's
Stokes
so many
is my
dudes.
favorite.
He got spit in the
Fuck
face.
JJ Stokes,
JJ
dude.
Stokes is a turd, man.
Dude, fuck JJ Stokes. I know he got spit on. That was the only time
Joint.
I actually felt like
Give me
I
that
wanted to
shit.
stick up for JJ Stokes. It
This
was like,
was
dude,
dope
you don't
right
spit
here.
on somebody.
Yeah,
Patrick
Quan-
Willis
that
is
was
a fucking
this year,
bad
Quan
motherfucker right
Alexander.
there.
Is that Patrick Willis?
Yeah.
That's right.
When was that?
That was during
That-
our Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
What we're watching was
Looks like Niner highlights.
Yeah. Well, it's
No, we're watching the 100 greatest NFL plays.
Ah,
Derek Thomas, 7 sacks
Dude.
in one game.
Derek
Beast.
Thomas went ham that game.
got you.
And they
I
lost.
got you. There you go.
Which is insane, right? Just
Derek Thomas
That's
was
the
a
Chiefs
beast,
for you,
man.
man. Like, they just,
rest in
like,
peace, man.
find ways to beat themselves historically.
Peyton's noodle arm.
So
But
is
not
Andy
with
Reid,
Mahomes.
to be fair.
Now
be
Mahomes,
fair.
Mahomes breaking everything.
Yeah.
I hate the fact
Dude.
that nobody can say that now without me doing that. To
You-
be fair.
To be fair. To be fair, there's nothing for you to
And
do-
I never
lack
realized how much
confidence
I
about.
say that until I started
That's what's
watching
awesome
Letterkenny.
about this Super Bowl.
Because now
That's
I
a
can't
great
not
matchup.
say that.
There's just
It's
Well,
the two best teams.
there's
honestly.
you
hype.
can't
It's
Yes.
the two best teams.
you can't find. I mean,
nice.
it doesn't matter that
Rumbling,
the KC defense
bumbling,
is worse than the
stumbling.
Niner defense. You guys statistically have stepped your game up these last. So a whole season stat doesn't say the story. You guys have played well right now, and the fact that both teams, all three phases, have been firing on all cylinders. They've both got guys that get up in a mic and they're fun to have on a mic. Like, they're
a lot
just
of fun
sup-
personalities.
Right.
for sure.
Yeah,
God.
but
a
I-
lot of fucking stupid talent. Like
And I
this is
still-
what
yeah,
the
just like-
Super Bowl should be.
Just like
Alright,
Derek
do-
said,
do-
I do think this is the two best teams,
Hands down, absolutely.
Do you guys,
which
do you
rarely
guys
happens in the Super Bowl.
know
anymore.
about Andy Reid? Like, he's famous for wearing Tommy Bahama.
Dude, I know a
shirts.
lot about Andy Reid.
The Chiefs all got off the plane today, and
Yeah.
all the
All
players were
dressed like
wearing
him.
Tommy Bahamas.
It wasn't
That's
just
perfect.
Tommy Bahamas. It was the exact same outfit.
That's
Yep.
why the Chiefs
It was
are
the
going to
same
win.
color
dude.
and
They're
everything.
like, as a team, just like, fuck it, dude. We're doing
But
this
the
for
thing is,
Reid.
both teams are like this right now, which
Yeah.
is so enticing and so awesome. Like
That's
the,
when you
the
got a great
mindset
team,
of both.
is when your players will go through a fucking
Because
brick
they're
wall for
both
their
the
coach.
same. Like our starting tight end likes to use WWE references,
Right.
and
That's the Chiefs team does. You saw Eric
I know.
Fisher in the end
That's
zone.
what I'm saying. And like
got too
everyone's
fucking cute with
just got this really professional, like but fun mindset, and that goes for both sides. That
That
there's a
speaks to the
silly.
head coaches, though. They'll let the
Correct.
players be themselves.
Yeah.
That's what you hear about when you read about those teams, and the players
Yeah.
are like, dude, I love playing for my coach. I could be me. He game plans for what I can do, not trying to pigeonhole
Sudden
me.
and,
death.
You know?
and you can
It's-
arguably say both teams have a reason to play for their coach. Each
That's-
coach, Andy Reid, because he's fucking Andy Reid. He's a legend who's not gotten his proper fucking respect.
Look at the
which he
refs.
should've.
They look like chefs.
And he's been through
Meat market
a
worker.
shit ton of drama in his life. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't wish my worst days on fucking somebody like Andy Reid. Like Jesus, he's gone through
Yeah,
some
for
shit.
the
So
Kobe Bryant
everybody,
family now.
everybody in the NFL loves Andy Reid. Like everybody's rooting for him, so they
Losing
can play
his
that
kids
way.
and shit, yeah.
The Niners play for what happened to Kyle last year. Everybody's dogging on him. And all that, or not last
Predicted
year,
us to go 3-11
from the
this
playoffs,
year.
from the 28-3 lead.
I'd rather be
Everybody's
better than that. This
he's
year.
coming back from that. Everybody needs to defend him, and so you could theoretically say each team has a reason to play for their coach.
No.
So, and they also genuinely
Yeah,
love
well,
their
if you're making the
coaches.
Super Bowl, your players better respect your coach.
Obviously, yeah, I think they do. So it'll be
But the
it'll be
way
awesome.
everyone's firing on all cylinders is great. There were no like upsets that made
Awesome
like
play
a
callers.
great match. There weren't like any of these things outside forces that fucking tripped up a great matchup where you're like, oh, you have Tennessee dick trickling into a Super Bowl against the best offense in the NFL, or you don't have Tennessee fucking dick tripping into a an
AFC
offense against
championship.
well, dick tripping into the Super Bowl against the best running offense in the NFL.
No.
Like you don't have that. No, both teams did what they needed to do as the best teams on their respective sides to get the job done and ended it.
I think
The thing about the Chiefs,
they've all
I-
showed it during the regular season. They've showed it during the playoffs. They're
I know I
best
said
teams
the
in
best
Eric
teams
Metcalf,
play, but
goddamn.
I don't think the
Fuck
Chiefs
yeah.
have the best team
Eric
per
Metcalf,
se.
excuse me.
They have a great team. I think Mahomes is just such a force of nature that he he's a great team around, no fucking doubt. But that guy, the Ravens are a pretty damn good fucking team, and they should have been there. And I put it on fucking Lamar. I know he
Randy,
had statistically a great game
That's
against Titans,
ridiculous.
but Lamar though, like there's certain things you got to be able
He
to
was
do
awesome.
during the playoffs. He hasn't learned to do yet.
Yeah.
Dude, he has his own move named after him. You got mossed. Like literally when somebody
Randy
just
Moss.
reaches up over your face and takes the ball away from you.
But no, I agree, Derek.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be. I'm actually like it's most obviously.
The
I mean,
linebackers on both sides.
being a Niners
are,
fan helps,
I
but
think
I'm more excited about this Super Bowl
Peop-
than I've been in a while. Like I feel like this is the two teams that deserve to be there. It's going to be exciting. There's a lot of personality going on. There's no Patriots. There's a lot of reasons for me to really get into this Super Bowl. Obviously, but
and say what you want about the Niners
gonna
secondary, but both linebacking cores have their work cut out for them because you have the
Yeah.
number 1 and number 2 tight ends to cover, and that's going to be the hardest job I think of the game. And one or both of those dudes, fucking, I think are the X factor in this game. Say what you want about what like Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watson can do, but I think the two star tight ends,
You're
what
just
they
up,
do.
bitch.
I don't care if it's in the stat sheet with catches or yards, but whatever those guys do is probably
nice
what
guy.
wins their team the
Joe
game.
Cool, baby.
I think if you look for the matchup with
JT.
Dirty Dan Sorensen against George Kittle,
Damn,
they
people
might-
forget how awesome
if they
John
have to
Taylor
start
was.
switching Matthew over to Kittle consistently.
Yeah, Matthew's
That's going to be a swing in your guys' side
Matthew's
because
gotta
now
be on
Matthew's
him.
taken out of it. He's got to cover
Matthew's
one guy.
got to be the guy on Kittle in the.
I don't know if they're
passing
going to start off with that way though.
He can't handle Kittle.
They want
game.
fucking.
In passing, he's the best option I think. Kansas City.
He can't handle Kittle.
I think he can.
Nobody can handle Kittle one on
Matthew
one.
though, well, Matthew, I know he's small, but that guy doesn't give a fuck, dude. He's the honey badger. Like he will do whatever it takes in every fucking down.
Kittle.
But if
Trust me,
Chiefs don't want him on.
I've been
Kittle,
an
though. They
Arizona
want him
fan
rumble.
since like Jake Plummer days. I've plenty of experience watching Tyrann Matthew. He can't handle with Kittle. He's good at what he does, and he's a fucking ball hawk. And he's physical for a guy his size.
If he goes blow for blow,
but
with
he can't
Kittle,
handle Kittle. Kittle is the exact
Kittle's
same
only good
thing,
at plays.
but just bigger.
That doesn't matter.
You can
to
be as
Matthew,
physical
though.
as you want, but if the guy's just as physical but bigger, he's going to take you down every time.
But that's
Yeah.
not Kittle's job. Isn't to take down a Matthew. It's to move the ball. Matthew's job is to take.
No,
him
but I'm
down.
saying Matthew can't
doesn't
handle
give a
him.
Fuck. He's the honey badger.
Kittle will fucking push him off him. He'll just thank you.
Matthew's
Get
too
away from me.
smart for that type of
Matthew's-
shit. Dude. He'll get in there for a good.
Hey man,
good
Matthew
tackle.
is sticky.
He is. He's like I said, he's great at what he does, but he
is
can't
in
hang with George
coverage.
Kittle.
If Matthew is asked to be blocked, if like he gets blocked by Kittle, it's over. I think the
blow him
better
yeah, that's a different
matchup.
thing. Yeah.
The better
Blocking.
matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what?
Matthew's
I like
good. He's
and I
shaking
like
those
Kittle
little
against
balls.
your linebackers too, or shit, even any of your defensive ends for that matter. But you get into the pass defense, and Matthew is just as adequate at defending Kittle as anyone is on that field.
I just have more faith in
I
our
think-
linebackers against Kelsey than I have in your linebackers against Kittle.
Dre Greenlaw is and
We have
Fred
way
Warner
more
have shown a
speed
lot.
in our linebackers and physicality.
But the Chiefs
It's
have
not
been
just
showing
strength.
though throughout this playoffs. Kelsey
Fred
had 3
Warner-
touchdowns, but other than that, him and Hill have been pretty bottled up. And it hasn't been those two that have been going off.
We've got
It's
3
been other
potential
guys.
all-pros
We
throughout
have
our
too
linebacker
many
core.
guys that make plays.
Fred Warner has
Greenlaw and
has covered
Quan
more wide
Alexander.
receivers and
Yeah.
knocked passes down than I've seen ever in my life.
They'll shut down the middle of the field. You're either
Like,
going to have to go deep.
There's been
or-
times where I'm like, oh, he knocked that fucking shit
That's
down.
Darryl Green, baby.
Yeah, Darryl Green in that.
This is one of the
4-1
plays that
speed.
made him famous. They're like, he ran down Tony Dorsett.
Wow.
Opposite side of the field.
He did though.
Yeah, that's because that dude had
way the hell out there.
That dude had 4.3 speed. Like
Throughout his entire career.
no one in the NFL was
20
faster than
years.
Daryl Green. Anyway,
He had 4.3 speed. It was crazy.
there's, man, like, there's just times where our linebacking core has been where they need to be, and they need to be this game because Kelsey presents such a fucking challenging option.
We've got so much sideline speed in our linebackers. It's
Who's
ridiculous.
that, D?
Dante Hall.
That's
Dante
Dante
Hall.
Hall.
He
man.
went
Human
off in
joystick,
this
baby.
game.
Yeah, he was the original as far as the little scoots.
They were losing that game.
Yeah,
Did they win
Tyreek-
that one?
He
Tyreek Hill
single-handedly
is
won us two games in a row.
Dante Hall would
Yes, he-
change games, man.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill is who he is because Dante Hall did this.
Same thing with Hester came after Dante Hall, I think.
Yeah.
Hester
Yeah, he
a
was right
stud.
behind Dante
Yeah.
the next year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dante was just ridiculous.
That guy was a human highlight reel, obviously.
Yeah. So yeah, what do you think, Chase?
What?
Anything.
What's your Super Bowl predictions? Like, what's your feels on it, man?
For like an hour.
I thought we already made the.
Forgot you were still here.
No, like, do you have any things that you think you
What's
would
your last
see?
points? What
Insights
do you have
into
to say?
the game.
Excited? What are you excited to see? Come on.
I don't know.
You could talk about
Holmes is gonna win.
Oh,
I thought you said the
go.
Niners
The
were
Niners
gonna
were winning earlier.
You predicted the Niners were winning.
No, he picked the Chiefs.
No,
he
I
said
said
Niners at half.
I said Chiefs.
oh
to
yeah,
come
he did.
behind.
That's right. He said the
Oh.
Niners at half.
I stopped
Then the
listening.
Chiefs
I
will
guess
come
at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was shocked by hearing him saying the
Some
Niners
bitch.
were going to win.
So
I
it
was
is.
like, what?
It is 3-2 out of this crowd,
Sure.
but
Hey, just like
it's
Vegas.
it's only
Niners are 1-point underdogs.
you
1.5.
two are
1.5,
solid
yeah.
on Niners just because you're Niners fans. And we
Sure.
got one Chiefs fan that's just solid Chiefs fan.
Well, I'm also
So,
solid on
if
it because
we
I've
had-
watched every 49ers game this year. I
Yeah.
know. I
Is
know
it-
what we're doing.
If we had any chinks in our armor, I would be the first person to be like, "Yeah, man, I'm not so sure."
Both of you said the secondary earlier when I
Yeah.
asked that question.
If we had a
Well,
weakness,
and I mean like
would be
serious chinks that would make me fret. So while you asked me the question, "What's our downfall?" While I say the secondary, I still don't think like
See,
it's
the
a-
Chiefs
a
on
detriment
special
to where-
teams, their blocking unit has given up a lot of big momentum swing. It's why they lost to the fucking Titans in the regular season. Why they lost to multiple teams this regular season.
mean,
and
yeah.
I think, and then they had a punt blocked against the Texans. Two, I think maybe.
it was just that one, you know.
They had two special teams. Oh, the muff punt or
Yeah.
punt by Tyreek Hill on special teams.
That too.
But that's unusual for Dave Taub. But they
It's
have
true.
been explosive on the returns.
Yeah. Well, and I haven't even really thought of those downfalls because of how well the KC special teams have actually performed overall. Like you've gotten yours. Yeah.
We've
you
lost
might have
games
gotten.
because of them this year. It's that blocking
Yeah.
on punts and shit. I don't know what's been going on.
We've-
with it. And field goal.
We've never really been a team that goes for it like with a trick play in that sense. But Wisnowski has been a weapon as far as pinning teams.
We've not
in
really had
spots,
to.
So
Trick plays are usually used
The only
for
time-
somebody
yeah.
in a situation
I'm
where
gonna
they
the
need
only
to
time
use
that-
it.
trick
and-
play is just straight up blocking.
And
They
the only
fucked up
time
on
our punting unit really came into play was that super wet fucking game against Baltimore,
Yep.
where I still think if that game's not all rained out, we beat them too, just like the Chiefs did.
Yeah.
But that game came down to who had the ball last because both teams were running the fuck out of it, and you couldn't pass. Neither team could catch a ball because it was fucking wet.
Yeah. So here's a good betting odd. Who's
Yeah.
the first one to do a trick play? Chiefs or Niners?
Fucking Niners. Because,
think?
No,
Yeah,
Chiefs.
it'll be. I feel like
Andy Reid loves trick plays.
Yeah, both teams do, to be fair, but we've been shown to do it first.
Trick
quite
plays
often.
win.
Well, and under what context?
Well,
is
yeah,
it
what do
like
you consider a
play?
trick
Like, you know,
play?
like what,
A
a
flea
Statue of Liberty.
flicker.
being-
Where
You
you
know,
toss it
yeah,
to your, or you
flea
hand it to
flicker.
your running
Okay,
back,
okay.
and then you have
No,
me,
like
Cole
necessarily
Hardman,
special teams.
or
Like I'm gonna
someone.
fake a
Because
kick
I'm gonna
and
say,
then
yeah,
fucking.
then it would have to be the
Even
Niners.
some like double
Like a
reverses
reverse.
to
Yeah,
me.
something like
Oh,
that. where
Chiefs
it's-
do double versus all the time.
So do
Yeah.
we.
That's
So
what the
that's
Niners.
what's
That's
neat
what I'm like,
about
what do
it.
you consider a trick play? Because they do that shit all the time.
I feel like it'll be us first because
Something
last
that can
game
trick
we
the
were,
camera
right,
guy.
dude. We did something like that in our first drive of the
So you're
the
talking
game.
like a desperation trick play. Like,
Hey, it's
No,
not
just
some,
a trick
a lot,
play.
especially in the
No,
Super
that's what
Bowl.
he's
A lot of
asking, 'cause he
guys
said
don't
that'll
even do
trick,
desperation.
Something
said
that
that'll
Troy
fool-
Aikman would be like, "Whoa, that's a trick play."
he was
Well, yeah, it'll
something
be
that'll
for-
fool the
yeah.
camera guy.
We could easily do it in the first drive of the game because we did it last.
I'm
Exactly.
honestly expecting
So that's not
both
really a-
teams to try something like that in the first.
That's
possession.
not really a trick play.
I feel correct. I feel overall both teams will have their trick plays because both offensive coordinators are fucking wizards.
Yeah.
So I just feel like
gotta throw it in there.
the 49ers aren't fucking shy about it. I feel like the Chiefs actually try to get you with what they do first, and then they come at you with that okey doke. We're not shy about it. We're just gonna fucking throw that okey doke at you right away,
true.
and then you're gonna think about it now, like, oh god, they
Yeah,
did
Kyle
that
does
now.
do that. He'll throw some weird shit out at the beginning of a game.
So I feel like
and kinda
if
make you
anyone
think
does
about
it,
First drive.
it's us.
Yeah.
That first drive, we
Shock,
throw a
yeah.
fucking pitch to
He'll throw
the
some
fucking
weird shit
running
out, you
back.
won't see it the rest
Our
of the
running
game.
back will scoot outside, pitch it to Debo, and Debo goes around the outside. That's probably in our first 15 play script.
Yeah.
Willing
And then you
to
won't
bet.
see it the rest of the
And
game.
Matthew will be
but-
there to shut it down.
But they got to keep an eye on it.
But I feel like later in the game, Kansas City's gonna be like, "Well, get ready for this. We've been doing this whole game," and they're gonna come with like a Miko Hardeman end around or
Debo's
Tyreek.
too strong for Matthew.
So what I
Can
mean,
Hill
so-
throw?
Kelsey played quarterback.
Kelsey's
in
the
college.
one
He's
that
the one
will
that
throw
throws.
Kelsey would
if they pitch it to Kelsey. Look the fuck out. It's gonna be a throw.
Who directs snap to someone else besides their quarterback first?
Ooh.
Niners.
That's a lot of people. In the Niners.
Probably, yeah. I,
See,
mean,
I don't know.
Probably
Who
us
does that
because
more?
you could probably put
Kelsey
any,
does.
Why
direct
would you want to
snaps,
take the
but
ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hand at any point?
That's in red zone within
and
like
that's
5
the
yards.
point. Is Kansas City's not going to take the ball out of Patrick
Alright,
Mahomes'
yeah,
hands.
I like
we
that.
might
Of all their
because
weapons, Patrick
we've
Mahomes
got-
is their number
because
one
he's not
weapon.
Patrick Mahomes.
correct.
Yeah. But Patrick
It's
Mahomes
not
is
a
their number
detriment,
one
but
weapon.
It's fact.
Our quarterback doesn't have to be our number one
Keep
weapon.
it in the athlete's
Yeah.
hand.
They would
Best
never
teams
take
of
the
all
ball out of his
time
hand.
had the best quarterbacks.
Well, yeah, maybe. No,
Maybe.
no, because Brian
Ravens outlier.
Dude, greasy
Broncos
quarterback,
outlier.
greasy quarterback, the only undefeated team in the NFL,
How many
and
Super
he's
Bowls does Terry
not
Bradshaw
thought.
have? Bradshaw sucks. He's mediocre at best.
Different era, but yeah.
Troy Aikman. Troy
Bob,
Aikman was a
dude,
mediocre
Bob Greasy
quarterback.
He was a
was
winner.
very-
Troy always
was a
picked
mediocre
up.
quarterback
Maybe
on a
I'm
great
being
franchise.
maybe I'm being over the top.
What the
but
fuck you, man?
He loves Troy Aikman.
I know. Obviously, he was
Born in
drooling
Texas,
over him on
y'all.
a fucking skills contest.
The only undefeated NFL team
Look
ever
at
of all
his
time,
stats. He's
their
a
quarterback
mediocre
wasn't that
quarterback.
great.
And they went
That played for
and they
the
went back and forth
Cowboys.
between two quarterbacks that
Who
season.
happened to have
Correct.
the greatest line of.
They had two.
Super
They had a
Bowl.
fullback and a running back.
Super Bowl.
That just
How many
ran over
times?
And it
your
had
shit.
Emmett
Sonka.
Smith, Michael Irving,
Larry
great
Sonka.
defense.
3-time Super Bowl?
Who?
The Cowboys?
He was no better than Trent Dilfer. You put Trent Dilfer
I
on
think
those
the Cowboys
Cowboys
have won
teams, he would have had 3 Super Bowls.
Five?
Aikman was probably
With
the
Aikman?
weakness of that
With
trio.
Aikman,
yes.
no, 3, I think. with
Aikman
Aikman.
was
But-
not a great quarterback. Neither was Joe Namath. Neither was fucking Joe Theismann. Neither was all these greats that people talk about. They won games, but they weren't great quarterbacks.
They just put the ball in the right hands, man.
That's
Aikman
it.
was amazing.
But with the way they had
Yeah,
the rules
anybody
now,
would be
though, it's
amazing
so
in
much
He was
more important to have a
amazing
good
at giving the
quarterback.
ball to Emmett Smith.
I would have been great in Dallas in the 90s.
He was
I could have
amazing
thrown
at
for 50
throwing the ball
touchdowns during fucking if I played on that team. They were ridiculously good.
to like he was amazing at throwing the ball to like 2 people.
Yes.
And then handing the ball off to Emmett Smith, who just pretty much did
That's one of the
everything.
greatest
Because you had
arguments.
Larry,
Their offensive line won them.
you
Really
had
how
Larry
ridiculous.
goddamn Allen and
If you
everyone
put Barry
else on that
Sanders
offense.
on
They're all
that Dallas
foggy.
team,
Fucking Christ. Yeah.
Nobody would ever
you
touch
should
his
be
records.
destroying people because Larry Allen is just taking care of his
Yes.
side of the line.
Larry, yeah, he's just that's all you need on the right side was Larry Allen. That was it.
Unfair.
You didn't even need a tackle.
Yep.
Just put Larry Allen over there. He would grab 2 guys and just.
I mean, overall, they were a good line, but Larry Allen just stands
He
out
was-
so
They were a
much.
phenomenal line.
Larry Allen
That
just
whole
stands
team
out
was
so much.
stacked. That's
Yeah.
why I say if you put Barry on there, Emmett would.
They
not-
have
people would forget who
4
Emmett
guys,
was.
I think, from that line that went to the Hall of Fame.
Probably, yeah.
I think it was 4.
They're about to do it again.
Most
with
of
their
that
line
team's
right
going
now.
to probably go in the Hall of Fame like that.
Yeah, yeah, a good line.
Their line right now will probably end up in the Hall of Fame.
Does
too.
that speak
Everyone's
poorly
like-
for Prescott?
No, it speaks poorly to their offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I think that's pretty true as well.
Yeah.
I think.
I never
However,
bought
their
into the
offense is
Dak
designed. I
hype
think Dak
anyway.
is good. Dak is similar to Garoppolo in a way where he doesn't have to be spectacular.
I just don't
He
think
just
he's that
can
good.
live.
Dak was going
He
for
can
that
live
supposedly
off of
$40
his-
million contract. I
Right.
don't think he's worth it.
No, I don't think he's better than Garoppolo. I think he's about the same. I feel like
I take Jimmy G every day
if he keep,
over him.
I might
just-
too.
I think with the
He's
right
got-
offensive coordinator, he might end up doing that because
can do
he's put
flashy
in the
shit,
right
but he's
situations.
unreliable.
He's
He's
good
not put in
at
the right
certain.
situations, I
He's
feel.
a limited quarterback, but what he's good at, he's a really good leader. I mean, he can
Yeah.
pump guys up.
And he's mobile enough to be
Hey,
dangerous, so he
Give us
gets
Ezekiel
outside the
Elliott
pocket.
and see
but-
how good Jimmy G looks.
Yeah, that's fair. With
Give
our
us their offensive line, or
Yeah.
give anybody their offensive like.
I mean, our offensive line isn't
Yeah,
as good
Niners
as
have a great
Dallas's,
off-
but
Oh, yeah,
our
that's why
offensive line's
I
great.
stopped that one, 'cause I was
As
like,
soon
wait,
as
I'll
we
take our
got,
offensive line. We're
as
good.
soon as we got Joe Staley and McGlinchey
McGlinchey
back, that shit changed hand over foot. We kind of had that lull halfway through the season where we had to throw a bunch because we couldn't run it, but now everyone's back. And that's the neat part. Is like everyone on each team now is healthy. Like for the most part, everyone's got their little bumps and bruises, but everyone is fucking.
Well,
healthy.
we lost Juan Thornhill for the season. He was a
I
rookie.
don't, but I don't think
was
that's a
tearing it up.
detriment.
It's pretty big. I would not be
I
surprised
don't
to
think
see
it's a detriment.
Dirty Dan Sorensen get burnt. He's a really, really good defender, but he's very limited athletically.
Sure.
He's always in the right place, but there's oftentimes,
He's
if
a guy
you're
that
good
makes
enough,
To be fair,
you
you're
can
not
catch
gonna-
him.
You're going to put him on Kendrick Bourne, and he probably wins just as much as Kendrick Bourne does. Because
I think they're going
Matthew's
to try
gonna
and
be
get him on Kittle.
No, you got to put Matthew on Kittle.
I don't know.
And that's
Matthew,
still not
what
gonna work.
they don't want
If you
Matthew
put
doing that.
if you put
Ma-
Sorensen on
Matthew
Kittle,
Ro-
we
is
start
Kittle
rolling.
would eat
Matthew
him up worse than
Rose.
Matthew.
Yeah, if you don't put Matthew
If
on
Matthew's
Kittle,
gone
it's over.
Kittle for most of the snaps, okay.
Matthew at least has a chance.
If I doubt they
Sorensen
start out
doesn't.
with Matthew on Kittle, I don't know what they'll do. I'm sure Sorensen will be involved. Maybe it's like passing him
he
off.
might chip him. That's the best he's going to
I mean,
handle.
if you're in a cover
if
three,
they
but
have
yeah.
to have Matthew follow Kittle, then I think that's probably going to end up being bad for the Chiefs because
Yeah.
they want Matthew roaming. He makes plays. He can trick
Yeah.
the quarterback. If you take that away from his game,
You can-
you're limiting
you
one
can
of the
play
big
call that.
deciding factors.
and
for
he's
Chiefs.
probably the only dude that can have a chance against Kittle.
Well, that's
But
true too.
that takes
probably
away half
design
I don't
the
think they'll
defense.
start off with Matthew. If
They might
if they
design a
consistently have
look.
to, that might not be a good thing for the Chiefs.
They could design a look where it seems as though Sorensen's going to be the man, and then it gets passed off.
Well,
to
that's a
Matthew.
look though. I'm
Use
talking
him as a
about like
chipper.
down to down, like who's for the predominantly being there.
Man, if you're tasking Sorensen with covering Kittle, that's not an outlook that favors you.
It's probably gonna be a combo of him to a lesser degree of Fuller, and then they might do some passing off shit where like they're chipping and hit with a linebacker. Or,
If Matthew covers Kittle, we're probably shut down half the game.
That was like the nicest
On the pass way.
see, maybe, yeah. I mean, if you think, I think it'll just be interesting how they use Matthew on Kittle. I don't think they want to do that, not consistently.
No.
They'll do it, but if they're doing it consistently, I think that's potentially a bad thing for the Chiefs because they want Matthew everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, Kittle will probably muscle him, but when you get into a route and Kittle's trying to get open, that's
He's
where
scrappy,
Matthew.
dude. He's
That's
like
where
a
Matthew
gnat.
gets into his bit. Like he's so sticky. Like that's where it gets into a trouble bit. So, those trick plays that we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast, where you do that fake run play and then you break out and you try. That's where you try to get that one-on-one option. And I think Shanahan maybe tries to avoid to go after. But that's without Tyrann Mathieu right there.
If they try doing something like that with Matthew on Kittle, Matthew's got to be fucking smart and
gonna have to
be risky.
undercut it.
He's got to take
Yeah.
a risk. Am I going to leave Kittle because I think this is happening?
Yeah, exactly.
Or am I going to stick on him?
This
Yeah,
is
exactly,
you if you
man.
ever got a job at a bar.
Yeah, I would trip through the fucking glass door,
That's awesome.
glass window pane. Well, guys, we've been recording. You guys, we were recording for almost 2.5 hours.
It seemed like a lot.
I feel like it's time for last calls, last predictions.
You ain't got to go home.
Chiefs
man.
gonna win.
Get the fuck up out of here.
Chiefs.
No,
Niners.
God bless fucking Kobe Bryant's
San
family.
Francisco
God
49ers.
bless the family.
Heroes on the base show. Sorry.
What is
And
that?
hey, we don't have
Rice-A-Roni?
Kaepernick, so you can like
No,
us again.
like
God
Teenage
damn it.
Mutant Ninja
Like, come on
Turtles.
now. That's been so
San
long ago.
Francisco
Who has the point spread?
49ers.
What is the?
It's
who is
one
it?
and a half
by one.
Chiefs.
Chiefs are favored
Yeah.
by
by
a point and a half.
one.
One
One and a
It's
half.
gone up apparently a little
Has
bit.
this-
It was one
Over
the other
under is
day.
50 and a half.
Is this really close compared to most years?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel we go over 50
It was
and
funny.
a
I
half.
actually had somebody ask me. They're like, "How do you score half a point?"
Dude,
like,
I'm
"Oh,
pretty
fuck."
sure.
I don't want to explain this to you.
If we hit close to 100 points collectively, I would not be surprised. But I feel like it'll be in the 90s.
Damn, really?
I feel like it'll be in the 90s, man.
It's gonna
Collectively.
you
it'll be up
predicted
there.
like 60 something,
Yeah,
70. Now you're going to change it to 90s.
I wouldn't. No, I'm saying I wouldn't be
Been
surprised
listening to Derek too much.
if
I
we
think it could go crazy.
if
on
we
the
go
scoring.
if both teams get in the 40s. I would not be surprised. I mean, I guessed at 34-31, so I'm already kind of flirting
Yeah,
with
you're
like
getting
it
up
could
there.
get crazy.
It could
So
both be in the 30s at halftime.
I think it's going to be both halftime. That's
it could be 28.
usually if
24
you
at
second
halftime.
half's usually where you score your most points because guys are taking shots to win the game. But
So there's
that'd
basically
be
no
nuts.
defense
That would be
getting played, is what you're
absolutely
saying.
insane for a first half.
Like you're gonna say
where
Mahomes
both defenses
hasn't
are just
scored
burnt out and
28
the offenses
points in
are just
one-
like
That's what it
skating.
sounds
He's
like.
scored
It's
28
there's no play,
points in one
just
quarter.
fucking
Everyone's
deep
just
balls.
skating,
10
like,
minutes.
Deep balls.
just running for 80 and 60 yards apiece each
So there's
each
not going to be any
offense.
special teams. It's going to be all offense and touchdowns.
In that
Could be.
second half, it could
Could
be.
be, man.
I mean, they're going to
That's
have to
what those
run a
scores are
lot.
predicting.
To keep up in one half, both defenses are going to have to run a shitload. And it's just a matter of who's breaking first. That's a lot of fucking running.
It's going to be a fun game. I like I said, my prediction, what I hope is that it's going to be a neck and neck, and I hope that a guy on the Chiefs, Frank Clark or Matthews, my prediction, does something.
We'll see
And
about
we get
Chris
the ball,
Jones.
Mahomes gets a touchdown, we're up 10, and that's the end of the game pretty much. But this is going to be, I think, a close Super Bowl, a fun Super Bowl. It's going to be... It might be tight for a second, but it will break loose, and you're going to see some insane plays.
Are you gonna lose your mind?
I already took Monday off of work, dude. I'm getting whatever I got to recover from. I'm getting recovering from so hard.
Where are we
After
watching
the
this
game.
at?
What's the worst reaction you guys
I
have
don't know
ever
what
seen
we've
to a
planned
sporting
out.
event result?
That
Like,
fucking
from fans?
Malice.
Well, like I've seen a friend of mine. We were watching one of the Super Bowls. It was the Green Bay Denver Super Bowl. We were watching it at his apartment. It was a buddy of mine, and he was a Packers fan, and the Packers lost, and he kicked his fucking TV into the wall. Mm-hmm. As everybody's sitting there watching the game, like the game wasn't even over, but it was obviously like over.
It's time to leave at
Yeah,
that point.
So it wasn't over. They didn't celebrate nothing yet. Like the game wasn't officially over, but it was kind of over already. And he just got up and he was just walked over by the TV. You thought he was going to the bathroom. And he just, bam, just kicked the
oh,
fucking
all
TV.
like calm, like he didn't yell or
No,
anything.
he just got up. And you were like, oh shit, Bob's gonna go to the bathroom. Like you thought maybe he was getting a beer or something.
Further you go in the playoffs, the
And he
more
just-
emotional those games
He just
get.
walked right by it, and it's just like it was almost like.
Hey,
didn't
Ryan, it was
plan on
nice
doing
knowing
it,
you, man.
But when he walked by the TV, he got tired of looking at it, and he was
I hope
just
we're
like,
still friends after this.
and just like
We'll
kicks
be
it
friends.
into the like he had an entertainment center,
And it was his.
It was his TV. It was his apartment. But he kicked it into like the wall, and like it just stuck there and shit. And it was just like everybody kind of looked at each other like, "Oh, time to go." And it's like, so I was just like, when you brought that up, I was curious, like, what's the worst reaction you've seen?
You see a lot of that shit on the internet.
Or have
Personally, like in live,
Have you?
I've
been
never
the
seen
worst
anything like
reaction?
that.
I've
The worst shit I've
seen,
seen is Husker fans.
I've seen Derek,
Who are
lose
also
his
Chiefs
fucking
fans.
Like the worst thing I could possibly think of is like,
What did I do?
I've cried when teams have lost. Been like,
I haven't destroyed a
like
TV.
that's it. But I've never gotten like violent towards a TV and shit.
But Derek will get up and start pacing and just like
Pacing is the worst thing you've ever seen.
pacing and just like fucking running around like oh my god, like
Losing
fucking
his
standing
mind.
up. Yeah,
If there's a big play, I will like run in circles or around something. and
That's
be like,
not that big a deal. Like I've seen that during Husker games.
Yeah,
I mean,
have
our
you
whole
ever, like,
family chest
broken
bumps each
something
other
in
when
front of
Husker
you?
score. Like,
stabbed a baby. Or,
yeah, I mean, come on, everybody's done that. Husker
Well, not for a
touchdown.
football
You know,
game. I
beat
do
your
that for
wife.
Husker
religious
touchdown, you go out,
ceremonials.
stab a baby. I mean, why not?
fucking Huskers lose, go out and beat your wife.
Oh, there's a
right?
lot of wives getting beat lately.
Definitely.
Unfortunately, your wives aren't going to get beat after your team loses.
I used
right?
to always just say, like, oh, I can hear the shotguns cocking right now.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as the game was over, like, oh, there's a lot of violence about to happen.
But I made so much guac.
But lately, people, I think, have gotten
Did
used
you
to it.
like
So
the wings?
it's not as bad.
Shut up, bitch.
Hey,
And suicides. That's not all wife
and
beatings.
suicides.
I
You're
think
right.
it's suicides.
Yeah.
Is there a
Not
bet
all-
on that? How many people kill
What
themselves?
team celebrates more?
What do you mean?
Like
mean?
does Kansas City like riot or celebrate?
Like
Oh,
the fans?
No,
Fans
both
or
teams
to San
do a really good
Francisco?
job at celebrating touchdowns.
I think.
No, I'm talking about-
No, I
and-
think.
Like, and if
I
you win
think-
this Super Bowl, what will
No,
happen?
Kansas
Yeah.
City fans will lose their shit
Yeah.
way more because Niners have had the experience.
They will.
And
Niners
also, a
fans
lot of
in the
people are
streets.
picking the Niners. So like,
And Niners
Chiefs
fans-
Chiefs fans are feeling a little like
We've got 5 Super Bowl titles. All of them more
underdoggy.
recently than the Chiefs. Like we're not starving for that. I mean,
Yeah, we haven't
strive
been
for
back
excellence.
in
Chiefs are
years since
starving
we won
for
it.
that.
we
right
strive for excellence, and when our teams suck, we get miserable about it, and they should be good because we got a lot of history. It's like being a Husker fan almost. Like you have history and you have a lot of shit. You've had great players over the years, different eras, and just it goes back. And so there's a lot of history behind it. So you expect that shit. We had 4 Super Bowls before anybody else had 4 fucking Super Bowls. I mean, we were 5 Super Bowls before everybody had 5 Super Bowls. We were the top
That's why
franchise ever. We were the
Title
Patriots
crown.
before the Patriots existed. Like we were that team. So you expect excellence.
Niners had runs in the 80s and 90s.
So this is sort of an
20 decades
expectations,
of-
yeah. And we've
Yeah,
had
Been to the Super Bowl
and we've
in the
had
last
10
spurts
years.
of good.
The Niners
awesome,
got
dominating
humbled
years.
a lot in the 90s between the Dallas Cowboys and the Packers fucking punking us every playoffs.
Yeah,
except for
it was-
95. Like
that was
the
3
90s,
big old
we were-
heavyweights going at it every year.
The 90s, we kept losing.
Deion Sanders
Between-
won all
Yeah.
those Super Bowls.
We had to go ahead and sign Deion in order to win that fucking.
And then the Cowboys had to sign
and the
away
only
and
reason,
win all theirs.
that's the only reason Dallas won it is because they got him the next year.
Yep.
That's what Deion does to your team. he changes that.
Yeah, when you got a
aspect of the
shutdown
team.
corner.
Yeah,
that
when-
pretty much.
the greatest corner ever. Deion was a bad.
We have
man.
one of those.
One of the
Currently,
greatest.
Yeah, Richard
Yeah.
Sherman.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and put him in that category.
Sherman's one of the greatest.
hey, me, how old is
He-
he though?
He's
How
31.
He's 31. But
Oh,
he's
that's it.
coming off an Achilles.
Shit,
and
that's
he's
old in
still-
football years,
And he's
though.
still
But he's-
considered a shutdown top 5 corner.
How long was he at the Seahawks?
7
9
years?
Was
8
it
years?
I thought it
7?
was quite a while.
Yeah, it was like 8 or 9, I thought.
And he got an Achilles heel, and they're like, "All right, see you later."
Yep. They were
And
like,
and
they
Niners
just
picked him
didn't
up.
think it
Did
was
he go
worth the
anywhere
risk.
else?
No,
No.
we were
between?
his first signing off of being waived by Seattle.
And
I
if
think
you
it's a smart choice.
And if you ask Sherm,
Fantastic.
he'll make sure to point out the fact that he
Got to play
negotiated
Seattle
his
twice.
own contract.
Yeah, that
Everybody talks shit about you. Sign. What the hell is wrong with you? Why would you sign your own contract? Why would you negotiate your own contract?
Yeah.
Look at him now. He's playing in the Super Bowl. He's a
and
shutdown
just got a
corner
$2
still.
million bonus because he made the Pro Bowl and is going to
Yeah.
the Super Bowl.
How many years?
And he even points. He signed.
2 year.
Was it 2 year? I thought it was 3.
It might.
Or was it
I
a third
thought it was-
option maybe or something?
the
Yeah.
third was the
All
option.
right.
But yeah, it wasn't like a long deal, but it was, it was kind of a tester season, and then they had faith in him, and he had faith in
Yeah,
himself,
he obviously showed up to play. You
Yeah.
know.
and yeah, he makes them plays, and that's what he does. He's Sherm again, and he, like I said, if you ask him, he'll be sure to point it out to you. All you got to do, he makes it known. He's very confident in himself, which is great. Like he's one of those guys, and it's classic. If he's on your team, you love him, but when you're playing against him, you fucking hate him. Because I hated him for so long, hated him for
Second.
years, every year, just because he was in Seattle. Like I hated everybody there.
Second.
He's solid. He's always been solid.
Fucking hated him.
But he's it never
Used to
made
talk
me
shit. Used to be like, "You're
lack
not that
respect
good."
for his game.
Oh,
but
dude,
hated
yeah.
him.
I'm like, but what
Now
happens
he's
is when you see him every day, you have way more respect. When you see him week in, week out, like when you see what he does, you have more respect for him. So that's why I used to hate him, but I'm like, dude, yeah, I give him way more respect than I ever used to.
Nice. All right. Well, any other thingies?
We hit it all.
Any
man.
other
This
trash
was a good
talks?
one.
I think Sherm
Yeah.
gets an INT.
Ooh, who's MVP?
I think it's burnt twice.
Mahomes.
That's
I
a good
I
question.
would say Mahomes.
If
Well,
the Chiefs win, it's Mahomes.
if- yeah,
the
obviously.
Niners win,
Who else would it
it's,
be?
It's Raheem Mostert.
If he ends up with the most carries,
Mostert's had one
feel
good
like
game.
they've got a 3-headed dragon,
He's
man.
had
They're going to
actually
go with the hot
probably three.
hand. He's been the
He's
hot
had
hand,
3,
but,
and he's the hot hand right now.
but they haven't played in 2 weeks. You never know.
Yep.
Nah, Mostert's gonna do shit.
It was like you were talking about.
Could
They're
be
gonna,
Matt
offenses
Breida.
are going to feel each other
Exactly.
out.
He's back, right? He's
So they're
healthy.
gonna go in there with
Coleman
Mostert.
back too.
Coleman's the one that had the separated shoulder last week, but he's supposedly
he's
going to be
back.
ready to go.
Yeah, I
It's
think
a lethal weapon, quote unquote, dislocated shoulder. You
But
know how
that's yeah, it's still playable.
Pop it back
though.
in. I'm good to go.
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah. So they anticipate he'll be ready to go. So we'll have that 3-headed monster, which
That's a
I still
fucking-
feel like
that's
it'll
propaganda.
It'll be Mostert.
Just like putting her.
dude,
oh,
their
yeah,
legs are
he's
so
hurt.
fresh
He's
because half of them
hurt.
haven't played the last
You
2
can't
weeks.
sleep on Debo Samuel. Like
He's a running back out in the
he's
fucking out wide, man.
He is
That
a
boy's
small
bad.
guy that runs hard, so
And
he's hard to tackle.
He's thick and he's strong as shit,
Thick.
dude. He is. That boy is like
meaty.
when you like you see him, he just like looks huge, and you're just like, when you find out he's like 5'10" or something, but he's like 215 pounds, like he's just jacked. Like that guy's just, it's ridiculous.
All right.
So it's gonna be fun. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
I am excited. It's gonna be a good Super Bowl.
You know what?
next
I'm gonna
week.
go out on a limb. I'm gonna call Jimmy G the MVP. I think he'll do it.
He won't even finish the game.
You know what? You're
Whatever.
gonna owe us more
Is
money.
one
for
of
the
your
bet.
1, 2, or 3 defensive players gonna hit him? What's gonna happen? You've mentioned 3 of them: Frank Clark, Tyrann Matthew.
He's been
Oh, for
sleeping
defensive,
on-
no,
You've
just
been
those
sleeping
two.
on.
No, I'm
Chris
just saying,
Jones.
you're
Chris
saying-
Jones is gonna have a big game. That
That's
guy,
the first time you've mentioned him.
I know, right?
I mean, it's
Is he gonna have that big a game? It's the first time you brought him up.
I think he does.
I think Frank
I think
Clark
he
gets
could.
the glory, but Chris Jones does control the trenches. Like that guy, even in the run game, sometimes you can get by him, but he's a disruptor. You know, sometimes those guys
we
just
Our center's
penetrate.
good.
so
we
you
go
by
8
him.
deep with that.
I mean, our O-line's been good for the most part, but if there's any weakness offensively, it's definitely our left guard.
The best thing with our offensive line is the scheme.
and I feel like
They're very scheme.
Chris
Wow,
Clark
we'll
could be the
still-
one that goes off. I think
while
Frank Clark, but
while I think we'll get ours, Chris Jones will get his because he's got a favorable matchup on the inside. I feel.
we'll see. If he goes off too with Frank Clark, game over. Game over.
The problem is Frank Clark's going to be going up against our strengths. So it's going to be really Chris Jones. That's
He's
gonna
a
have to pull through.
tenacious. He's one of those
Yeah.
guys though that
Mike
gives.
McGlinchey
He's like
is-
Chamba Ali, but
Nah.
with way more fucking energy.
Well, he's like 2 of
But
Tom
we have Joe
Bali's.
Staley.
Stamina,
and
I should say.
Well, Joe Staley's been like the best tackle.
He's
in
like
the game
34.
forever, but he's been the best tackle all ever.
He's
still-
old. He's
and
tired.
still one of the top
And
tackles.
then we have a.
We're gonna
a
put him
number
to
one-
bed.
Who
with
are
a
your
kiss on his
tackles?
cheek.
We
You
got
even
a
know him?
number one or
You
number
got Eric
2
Fisher.
pick
All right,
in
don't
Mike
talk to us about
McGlinchey.
good tackles.
Eric Fisher's pretty solid.
Yeah, we got 2 All Pros at our tackles. We have better than pretty solid.
We got Mitch
Mike
Schwartz.
McGlinchey. Who's
your right
dude, all
tackle?
pro. Mitch Schwartz. He's been all pro the last
Yeah,
like
Schwartz is
5-6
actually a
years.
stud.
They've got
I
a
forgot
doctor
about
at
Schwartz.
guard for what it's worth.
Yeah, Schwartz is a stud. I
Yeah,
forgot about him.
he had a nasty leg injury last year. He hasn't been quite the same. He's coming around. He's getting better and better and better. Last year, he's playing up to Pro Bowl standard until he got injured.
It's true.
You didn't realize what this is going
What
to
is it,
devolve into, did
Duvernay
you?
something? I'm trying to remember.
Laurent Duvernay Tardif.
There,
Yeah.
Tardif.
You didn't realize this was going to happen.
He's from Canada, Quebec. Montreal, I
Fucking-
believe.
no, it's fine. Trash talking right up until the end, you know,
That's funny, man.
guys.
It just took
Fuck
us to
you.
lower load at the end,
A
right?
lot of good times up in Quebec.
No, I do want to say thank you, Tony and Ryan, for coming on
Fucking hell.
and
Somebody had to represent.
taking it to Derek because he is fucking just Chiefs fucking hardcore.
Of course he is.
And Chase and I don't know shit. We just kind of let you guys control the conversation and trash talk everyone, and it was perfect. It was great. I fucking
But
loved it.
I will tell you, this is very respectful.
Good talk.
I felt
Good
like
talk.
everybody was complimenting each other's teams, and
Yeah,
there's a little bit
it was
of shit talk.
it
but
was give and take.
Honestly, your team's really good too. Like it's
That's
that
the
doesn't
best
happen
part.
a lot.
That's
Because-
You can
Yeah.
choose the other
That's the best
MVP or
because
whatever.
these are the two best teams. So you
Speaking
have to
like a true
respect-
pussy.
You have to
fucking
respect-
Niner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, you respect your opponent. You keep your friends close, but your enemies.
A pussy that's seen his team win the Super Bowl in his lifetime
Oh shit.
multiple
I've
times.
seen 4 in my lifetime. So
How many have you seen?
I'm about to see the glory of God here.
Not
Called
that-
Patrick Mahomes, second of his name.
not that it
Breaker
doesn't
of
matter,
curses.
or not
I
that
would-
it matters in this Super Bowl.
I would
No,
think
but
this
still.
one Chiefs win though could be more like
Dude, people will drop.
emotional
People will
than
drop
all
dead
of
if the Chiefs
because
win.
for the most part, it's an underdog event.
All the
It's
old people.
never
That, it's
happened.
just like when
even
Cleveland.
though they're
years.
picked to win,
Just like when like the Indians won the World Series, the Cubs won the World Series. Like all the old people that have been holding
Yeah.
on for that one thing.
Royals.
You're gonna see like old
it's
people
historical.
in homes
shit.
and hospitals just die as soon as
They're-
the game's over because you're gonna be like, they
Speaking
won.
of history,
And shit.
who did the Royals beat in the World
God,
Series?
the Giants.
San Francisco Giants.
I was waiting for that.
I don't root for every San Francisco team.
History
I was waiting
repeats
for that.
itself, guys.
I don't root for every San
Dude,
Francisco team.
the problem that with a lot of
I mean, if you want to compare baseball
Chief
teams,
fandom
you
is
won't
that
stand
they're
a
all
chance.
Husker fans, and now since all those Husker fans haven't had a lot of something to hang on. Now their pro team's starting to do some things. You're seeing a lot of
Yeah.
Chief fans come
Yeah,
out of the
it's
woodwork
funny.
that wouldn't.
Well, they don't have to
normally
change
say
a lot of their clothes. You know, everything's red still.
Yeah,
Well,
similar.
Same for us because we were
We're
we were
frugal.
garbage for 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. or
But
5 years.
I'm a Louisville fan. It's red too.
Those are our low swings. Our low swings are 3 to 5 years, not 3 to 5 decades.
Yeah, except for the entire early 2000s. Yeah.
That was a little rough, but
Hey, you guys,
that's a true fan. You stick
we
it
weren't
out.
shitting
Yeah,
on the Huskers
exactly.
I
at
don't give a
all
shit.
this whole podcast.
And
now
then
you want to fucking start
I brought in the Huskers. I'll take
right
that.
at the
Like,
fucking end.
I watched him. I watched him draft J.J.
Fuck
Stokes
them
and
Niners.
stuck
Yeah,
with him. I don't
fuck.
God damn it.
Now I hate the Niners even more.
You're welcome.
care. Should.
We'll take the dissent.
Yeah, we don't care.
No, you know what, guys?
People
I'm
hated us for years.
fucking cheering for some good football next
yeah.
Sunday night.
You're gonna get it.
All right.
Thanks for having us, man.
Go Big Red! Go Big
49ers!
Chiefs!
Go
Fuck
Niners.
you, Chase.
Fuck you,
Fuck
Church.
Chase. Fuck Ed Church.
Go Chiefs.